Warning: the following contains material that may be too disturbing to some people. Descriptions of violence, mature situations, and adult themes. This is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Alright, let's see what these guys are doing. Hey, you guys are all sitting in here muted. You guys are all just sitting here being quiet, huh?
Yeah.
You get tired of me popping in on you guys when you're in the middle of a conversation and laughing and so on. Is that what's going on? Okay. Well, let me grab that. Welcome to the show, guys. It's episode 50 for the streams.
50?
Yep, 50. Big 50. So I'm Rambling. I'm the DM. Why don't we go around the horn and start introducing everybody? Ella, who are you and who's your character?
Hi, I'm Ella, and I play Orilyn Favyre, a Eladrin who changes season with her mood. She's a warlock with the patron of the Archfey Lord Oberon.
Right on. And you blow up people's heads and
Yeah. She in her target practice, she always aimed for the head. So when she kills something, it's usually because she blew up their head with an Eldritch Blast.
right on. Yeah, there is. Vash says has a slight self-harm issue. There is that. There's the occasional nat 1.
Yeah, she attributes that to I mean, she's trying to save Oberon for a reason. Maybe she has some power surges or something.
Yeah. Gets a little reckless sometimes.
Yep.
All right, cool. Next up, I think, is Ferdy. Who's your character? Who are you? What's going on?
Hey, this is Ferdy. I used to play Phenomenal, who then later turned into Seraphina, who's now dead, and now I'm playing a new character that's a centaur, but not your typical half horse, half human centaur. It's a half goat. Oh no, half sheep, half.
No, I was half
elf.
goat.
Half sheep, half elf, centaur named Sha'ah.
Yep. Right on.
Bah.
Bah.
No, Sha'ah.
Sha'ah.
Cool. Well, thanks, Ferdy. Next up is Keo. Keo, who are you? Who's your character?
I'm Keo, and I play Odayn. He's a human swords bard with a bit hexblade. He's a fisherman from, I believe, the Cups area of the world, and he is not very good at thinking ahead. He likes to leap into battle head first and think about the consequences later.
Yeah. Only fools rush in, right?
Yep.
All right. Cool. Okay. Up next, this is a complicated one. Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim, and I'm dead.
Why don't you tell us about the characters you've played for 18?
Well, I started off playing Timothy Woodborough, who was a pretty normal guy until he was backstabbed by children that he tried to save. Went a little bit off the deep end, and in the middle of his recovery arc, he was brutally backstabbed by Phenomenal. And then
Another party member.
Let's
who's
see.
no
There
longer with us.
was Odayn, who was a kind of a biker gang. I'd say would be the mafia.
Yeah,
I don't know. He was a mob guy.
he was a member of the
And
Devils
he
crime
was-
syndicate. Yeah.
He was a Kenku sent on a mission to try and help the party accomplish some goals for the mob, and the mission didn't work out too great, and he went home with his feathers a bit ruffled. Back to the syndicate,
Yes.
and then there was Claes,
yes, there was.
and
Claes.
Claes, he was his own little hoved Robin Hood. And then he was a pile of dust. So
Yeah.
now I am dead.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're here today.
I'm
Did you-
here.
Did you not get the memo that you're dead? You're no longer
Yeah, I'm
invited.
dead. I'm a
Um,
ghost.
I guess we'll see what happens today. Let me refresh this page. Roll20 looks like it's being a little bit weird. So let me refresh that page. But while I'm doing that, Wolf, why don't you talk about your character? Who's Wolf?
My Roll20 is also not working. So I am Wolfrin Fenris. I'm playing Vash Star. He's a Kalashtar wildfire druid, and he's a sourpuss. I think that's a fair way to describe him.
Okay. Sourpuss, huh? He's complicated, right?
Like your Facebook status. Yes.
Yeah. He's done some questionable things, I suppose. But
Not on that list is murdering a woman, because I revived her.
because I brought her back to life, so it totally negates the fact that I killed her.
Exactly.
Hey, it balances out, right? But I was gonna say, yeah, he's done some questionable things, but we live in a questionable world, right? The forest of flesh. Sometimes you gotta do things to survive, or just because,
Or just because, yeah.
All right, looks like Roll20 is finally queuing up to reload here, so that's good.
And then there's everyone's favorite character, Ishu, played by who?
Who is playing Ishu? I guess that's me. I guess I'm playing. I play all the other characters in the show. I mean, except B team and stuff. But they're not as important. Ishu's just a little kobold who's following you guys around. He's got some magic.
Ishu is a little kobold being followed around by us. He's the leader of the party.
And he's also
A god.
made some questionable decisions. I guess he's eaten some people.
They probably deserved it.
We
Exactly.
did spend a lot of time trying to find him again. So you could say we're following him around.
Yeah, I
There
guess
was a solid 2 sessions of trying to find Ishu.
Yep.
that's true.
Right.
That's true.
And is Ishu Vash's best friend?
Only friend?
I think this is a question for the after.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil that. He's certainly not just an unwitting, easy to use because he's not real bright and he's a little naive thing for Vash, right? Like there's definitely not anything like that going on. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I hope you guys have all had a great week since the last session. Why don't we get started? So I think since we're episode 50, let's do we'll have like a proper introduction scene. So I was talking to Tim about this earlier. Tim, I already told you I'm not doing this to troll you, okay? So we see a campfire. in a forest, not unlike the Feywild demi-plane that you guys are staying in. We fade in on the scene of this campfire burning, and there's like some logs laid up next to the campfire for a place people sip. They're all empty. We do hear like the sound of people talking. It's there's quite a few people, maybe 10 to 12 people. We hear a lot of movement, people organizing things like moving big chests, but we're focused on this campfire. People talking, moving around, that kind of thing. And an old satyr comes and sits down by the fire and just stares into it for a few moments. And then he reaches out into the air and plucks out of the air a lute. And he starts to kind of grumble to himself and pick away at the lute. And the audience will recognize the song as Kansas's "Dust in the Wind." But so for what we would see, like if this is a TV show intro, this would be like our Supernatural, The Road so far. And so we hear this satyr sing, like this old man satyr kind of singing this song in the background while we're sort of given all these scenes that sort of like how we got here. So I think maybe the first scene would be the group of you guys meeting, like the first session 1 off stream, the group of you guys minus Orilyn plus Drogo and K Coupe waking up in that field before you marched on to the Lost Village and everything went to crap, right? So like everyone looks a little bit less road weary then. Your clothes were all still fairly clean, less jaded, and
10 years younger.
10 years younger in Odayn's case, yes, because you met a ghost that took 10 years of your life. You got off easy. And maybe we cut to that scene where you guys killed that other magistrate in the house who was like, you guys stumbled into the village and you run into this magistrate, and so like the scene of like I think it was Fee that ended up putting him down, and then the undead in the village, and then maybe like the when you guys put the boat together on the river, the scene of you guys burning the guy in the barrel with the 2 kids there, and then a cut to like the Watim Tam burning, the scene where like Vash was standing there bleeding from his eyes and ears and stuff, and you guys are all panicking trying to keep the mob alive, being attacked by shadows and all that kind of stuff. And then we cut to like meeting Melora in the depths, Tim dying, Seraphina reemerging after Fee's departure. We see scenes of like meeting Avachai and Lapel's death, and Vash's time in that realm where the flesh was controlling everything, and meeting the devils and the interaction between like the devils and Nurnum and the inn, and the whole thing about like the quick scenes from the fight where you guys killed those gangsters in the inn who were extorting the guy, and then the big fight with the copper herald of flesh in the dirt, when the flesh like invaded the crossroads town. You did befriend a certain kobold. There would be a scene of Ishu, sure, of course, in there as well. I don't want to leave Ishu out. And then you guys getting to the flesh, and of course meeting Cleus before that, and the Dryad, and the Displacer beasts, and the plants, and of course, like as we get towards the end, everything's much closer together. And then, of course, we end with Cleus getting struck by a thin green beam that turns him into dust. Oh, thanks, Fanny. Hi, thanks for the bits and the silly fart noise. And that's sort of where that scene ends and fades out. as this guy's play this song, and yeah, I know, right? And he's staring into the campfire with like this 1,000-yard stare. And then we fade in to the inside of this cave. We hear like dripping water in the background. We see the cave is only. We're also like our vision is very limited here. We're given like as an audience given like a weird perspective of from the top of this table. And the only thing lighting up the inside of this cave are the various like magical items and trinkets that we see kind of scattered about. A few of them do glow, these different colors of light, and it gives like a dim light to the place. But we're just looking at the inside of this cave kind of from the top of this table with all these various trinkets sort of scattered around. And we see in the darkness of this cave, emerging from one side, this kind of orange, hairy blur that slowly comes into frame and sort of creeps out of view where the table is blocking view. And then emerging from below the table is a slightly different shade of orange, humanoid-looking fox creature. And his face is a tad bit like misshapen. He's holding a like a gnarled staff in one hand, and he's wearing these sort of worn and kind of wild-looking tattered robes. And he sort of looks down at, like, past the camera on the table, looks at something, and then looks off to one side. His ears perk up as if he's kind of like distracted. And here, let me show you guys a picture of him. This is what he looks like. There. Something like that. His weird bulging eyes. And he looks down at the table and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't. You know, the funniest thing, I didn't realize you were alive. It's my apologies. I've never seen a construct quite of this design. Did you say you were a gnome?"
In a way.
He says, and of course we don't see you. Like we hear someone speak just out of frame, but we don't see you. The camera's focused on him from the view of this table, and he says, "You know, I knew a gnome once. What was he like? He was kind of a funny, crafty guy. Wait, no, that was me. Wait, I was a gnome once. Huh, interesting. So as I was saying, I do have a tool for this right here. Just hold on one second." He turns and we hear like the clinking of metal things clinking together. And he comes back with this like, he turns back towards the camera. He's got this weird screwdriver looking thing with like a wooden handle, but the tip of it's not like flat. It's kind of like a weird star pattern. And he says, "Yeah, this should probably do it." And he sort of pushes it around where the camera is, and we hear like a clicking of metal against metal as he's turning this thing. And he says, "So, what brings you here in the first place? What brought you to the the Feywild?"
My goal.
Goal, huh? That sounds interesting. What would that goal be?
Music. The perfection of music.
Music.
Music and magic.
Interesting.
They're the same if you think about it.
No, that's quite true. I found that's quite true. Music and magic, and he sort of like looks around into the darkness, and he says, "I think I had a few musical things here. It's been some time since this place has heard music. Well, if you don't count the screaming of the people dying in the depths of this cave, I suppose that's music in a way. And he sort of like looks around for a second, like he forgot where he was, and then he turns back like towards the camera, and he says, "Oh, right," and he goes back to like playing with his screwdriver thing, like pushing it on something and turning something, and he says, "So, do you work for Uberma? What's the deal there?"
Not that I know of. Is this Uberma someone who could help me?
He kind of cocks his head to the side and he help you. What could you possibly need help with?
My goal. My purpose.
Oh, right. What was your purpose again?
Music.
Music.
The perfection of music.
Oh, perfecting it.
Music and magic. They're the same if you think about it.
Oh, right. Music. Yeah, I've got some things around here that are quite musical and magical. I mean, it really most of the musical things in this place are the screams of people dying in its depths. And he looks like he forgot what he was doing for a second again.
That's a
then-
kind of music if you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. See, I like this guy. You're pretty smart. You're a pretty smart guy. So we're just a couple more tune-ups, right? Right. And he goes back to working, and we hear like this, like something come off, like a piece of metal, like separate and like clank on the table on this wooden table. And he reaches up to the camera, and he grabs the camera and picks it up, and our view changes as he picks up the camera, like focuses on the side of his face. He says, "Don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed. We'll get a replacement in soon." And then he turns the camera towards the table as he like sets it down, and we see your character for the first time, missing an eye. Describe what you look like.
I look like a bronzed statue of a gnome
So
dressed in bronzed clothes, and he looks like fabric woven out of small interweaving threads of bronze, and it is stained with machine oil.
yeah, dig it. All right, and so you're looking at yourself lying on this table, and maybe various pieces have been taken off. If there was any other kind of like tuning things, like any other repair work that you needed done while you were here. But yeah, you're missing this eye because your eyes we're it's clear now to the audience that we're seeing this from the perspective of this eye that's been taken out of your body. And he says, "I know this is it's probably going to be a little disorienting. Just 1 second, we'll get a fix for it." And he like turns around and like just there's a bunch of stuff piled on the table, and he just like puts an arm on the table behind him and just scooch like just a bunch of this probably priceless magic artifacts just go flying off this table onto the floor. And then he sees something he seems satisfied with and grabs it, and he turns back towards towards you and towards the camera, and he holds up this this item that's hanging by like a leather strap. And at the end of the leather strap is like a set of these goggles. And in the light, the dim light in here, the lenses of the goggles like flicker a green color. And he kind of like grins, and he says, "See, this should fix the thing. This should fix the thing. No problem. This should fix it. For you, this should be easy to do." And he like sets it down on the table, and we see him like take 2 claws and pokes them through each eye of the goggles from the back end, and then they just plop out onto the table and they clang across the table. And then he like reaches down with his kind of hooked claws and picks one up in each claw and like holds it up and takes a look at him until he seems satisfied. And he grabs one, and then he picks the eye up again that we're looking through, and he starts to fit it over the eye. And then as the like filter starts to turn like this green color on everything, then we cut to like a view of the room. So we're just like able to look at everything a lot more clearly. And he places this. We see him place the eye back in. He takes out, the other one, and starts to go through the same process. And he says, so have you been to Limbo yet? Really interesting place that.
Limbo?
I will take that as a no. There could be some interesting people there to speak to. If you're interested in music, that sort of thing. You said you were
I'm interested in music.
right.
That is my goal.
Yeah, your goal, right. Right. I feel like this is. You ever get deja vu? This is
Deja vu.
This is starting to feel just a little bit. Have we had this conversation before?
Not that I'm aware of.
Right. Okay. So, there's this guy. He looks like a goat. He's kind of interested in music, I guess. He plays a fiddle.
Goat.
Yeah.
A fiddle.
Yeah, he's really good at it. He should be, around the place I found you. Somewhere. Anyways, he like hooks the other eye up and like plucks it back in, and he says, I think you're gonna do just fine out there. I just got a feeling that maybe you accomplishing this goal with what was it again?
Music. Perfection of music.
Right. Music.
Music and magic.
Yeah.
They're the
Right.
same if you think about it.
Yeah. Exactly. That reminds me. If you hear like people screaming in the cave while you're here, just don't try not to think about it. They just do that sometimes. It's kind of like music, though. Really, if you think about it, kind of like stares off into the
Dreams don't bother me.
distance for a second. He says, right. So you said you had to go do this thing. Okay, yeah. Okay, so what if like accomplishing your goal with music or magic or whatever? What if you could? Have you heard of the flesh at all? There's this thing called the flesh. Have you heard of that? Do you have any idea?
I do not have flesh.
No, you don't. Exactly. That's kind of why I thought you were a trinket at first, but it turns out you're alive, and this whole weird mix-up. Sorry about that.
I do not care
Okay.
about what you did.
Okay. Okay. Well, most people.
You improved my vision.
Well, it's the least I could do. I mean, inconvenience a dragon you hear against your will. It kind of seemed a little, wrong. I guess. I'm not really into making people do things against their will.
No.
It's not my bag.
Yes.
All right. Well, you sure you don't want to stay? I mean, it's a pretty interesting cave.
Is there music in the cave?
I
like music.
Well, what do you think about the sounds of people screaming?
It could be considered music.
Yeah, it could be considered music, right? And then there's like this pause, and like we just hear like in the distance, right? Like it sounds really far away, but it's echoing through the cave. We just hear like the sound of like several grown men screaming in agony, like they're being butchered, like just this horrible, just like guttural primal screams. It's meant to be a moment of kind of comedy, I guess, as you both just sit there in silence for a few
I tilt my head
seconds.
and listen. Out of tune. Good acoustics in this cave.
Yeah, he kind of giggles, and he says, "It's it's different all the time. Like, I don't know if they know any other songs. You know, they just keeps going. Like, you think eventually they wouldn't be able to scream anymore, right? But no, they just keep screaming. It just keeps going.
Interesting.
Right. And you guys just sit there for a few more seconds. He kind of stares off into the distance, and he kind of like turns around like he forgot what he was doing, and he says, and he looks at you, and he kind of like furrows his brow, and he says, "Sorry, who are you?"
I'm Lyram.
Here.
I'm looking for music.
Oh, right, music. You know, there's this guy. He's kind of like a guy. He's kind of like a goat. But he plays this fiddle, and you know, he's not too far from where I picked you up, actually. You know, why don't I just take you back there? I mean, he's pretty good at the fiddle. You can see if you like his music. I don't know. Some say he's like really great, like the best in the realm.
Learn from him.
Some say he was born from music. Like when the first music was made, it created him. Like,
Which way is he?
Well, he's which way? I mean, he's right around the area I found you. Probably. He's hard to find though. Like, if he doesn't want to be found, he's kind of roguish. Is that the word for it?
Roguish.
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 Is that the right word? He's stealthy. You know, like he's hard to spot.
Stealthy.
Unless he wants you to spot him. But you know, that's just the way some of these guys are, I guess. Right. So anyways, I forgot what we were talking about, but
Music.
Music, right. So there's this guy, he's kind of like a goat.
Can you take me to him?
It's right this way, and we see you guys like walk off off camera down this hall. And then we cut to let's see here. Where are you guys at? Sha'ah. I'm gonna have to get used to saying your name, Sha'ah. We cut to Sha'ah. Sha'ah. We cut to Sha'ah. I gotta say it like that.
Yeah, just say it like a Sha'ah.
Sha'ah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that every time.
Sure, you can.
Yeah.
It'll make it more satisfying when he
Sha'ah.
eventually dies and you get to say, and Sha'ah, you're dead.
So we cut to I can't do it. We cut to Sha'ah. I can't.
Yeah.
There you go. That was
You
good.
got
That was
it.
good.
Yeah.
Orilyn, Melora, and Odayn, you guys are walking through the woods, and you walk by this boulder, like fairly large size boulder. I mean, it doesn't have to be super big, but at least like I'd say like 3-4 foot tall boulder. When suddenly,
Are we still doing Theater of the Mind, or are we back on that map?
I mean, I'm gonna put us on that map,
Okay.
but there is another map. But it's RP. It's
Yeah.
RP. It's a little Theater of their Mind, a little map. I don't have a specific map for this. But so this boulder opens up, like a dark shadow like ring appears around the boulder, like in the center of it, and walking out of it is this strange looking creature, very odd looking, by himself. Walks out of the boulder, and I guess actually they're make a what's y'all's passive perception? Who's
My passive is 23.
Oh, really?
Only 14.
Okay. So Sha'ah, you Sha'ah. You see you see like a fox-like humanoid standing behind him, and he's and like in the darkness of like in this boulder, and he and you can kind of hear him like saying something as Lyram like kind of like pushes him out this hole, and he's like, now go out there and be somebody. Maybe like you all hear it, but you don't really get a look at this guy, whereas Sha'ah can like see him. Um, and then we see from the fox guy's perspective as the hole closes and he's just staring at a stone wall in a cave, and he's like, that guy's gonna die. I give him like a week tops. And then we cut back to you all. Now just standing in the woods. What are you guys doing?
Hello. Do you know the goat with the music?
What color is he? Like,
He's
Brass.
Bronze.
bronze. Yeah, he's
Bronze.
made, he's made.
I look like a small bronze statue, like a 3-foot tall bronze statue of a gnome
Orilyn goes
with
into
green glasses now, I guess.
or
green
Orilyn
eyes.
goes into a defensive pose, ready to blast him. Don't come any closer.
Okay.
I've never seen you before.
I've never seen you before either. Do you
Are
know
you
where the
with
goat
the-
with the music is?
Are you with the Lyres and the mechanical creatures?
I am a mechanical creature. I like to play the lyre.
Oh God. Oh God.
Orilyn's gonna
It's a good
glance
instrument.
at Odayn and Melora.
Odayn's gonna look at Sha'ah and it's like, do you know of a goat?
Does he mean?
Man?
Does he mean my Lord Cernonos?
Does this Cernunos play the instruments?
Not that I
Does he
know
know
of.
music?
No.
Can I make a check for that?
I
don't think so.
Yeah, maybe. Like I get
Religion or I don't
yeah,
know.
or history.
History?
Yeah, or something like that. Like whatever you think. Whatever
I'll
you
go for religion
I'll give you
since I'm a cleric.
yeah, I'll give you a religion answer then.
Religion.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a 1 for a second there. All right. So, yeah, I mean, you're pretty well versed in the the Archfey pantheon, I guess is the best way to put it. There is like Hearsome, who's this he's the Archfey of like satyrs and music, and like fools and revelry, and that kind of thing. And he's supposed to be like one of the best musicians that's ever lived. Like I was saying earlier, born for music is like a literal thing.
Oh,
That's the only thing that really comes to mind. I mean, satyrs are known to be kind of talented musically, just in general. But goat and music, and that's like the first thing that comes to mind is this guy.
How tall is Lyram?
About 3 feet.
oh, he's a small creature.
He is a small creature.
Statue, did you want music or something?
Yes, I'm looking for the goat with the music.
You mean Hirson?
I would like to hear some music, yes.
I've never met this Archfey that you're looking for.
Archfey?
Yes.
An arch is a good structure.
I don't know.
He must be very powerful.
Quite powerful.
I don't know about a goat, but we can play music for you if you want. Right, Orilyn?
I don't know if I want to play music for something that might be one of theirs.
One of theirs?
The ones that we fought, those aberrations?
Yeah, every time I've seen them, they've had something mechanical or armor in color like his.
Don't worry.
Do
I
you
killed
have
my
a
master over 1,195 days ago.
By the way, in case you guys didn't hear, I think he said I killed my master, right? That's what you said?
right?
Yeah.
That's
I
what
was
he
just
said.
about to say that again. Who is your master?
An inventor. One lacking vision.
Did it look like this? And she is going to do minor illusion to create like a little illusion of the mind flares.
No.
Or
No tentacles.
what about this? And she'll change it to look like high elf.
He kind of peers in that one a little closer. I can't tell you humanoids with flesh apart that well.
Did it wear anything like this? And she'll do another one wearing the armor.
The mind flare, the metal special mechanical armor that they were wearing, or
Yeah.
that doesn't look familiar.
Odayn's gonna hand Melora the alchemy jug, and then he's gonna take out Balrog's axe of disruption and sort of strum the strings a bit.
Okay.
I have a musical instrument if you just want to hear music. I mean, are you just looking for the goat?
I'm looking for the goat, but I'm also keen to learn.
Learn what?
Music.
Well,
It's quite similar to magic. The same if you think about it.
yeah, I can see that. Music is sort of magical, right, Orilyn?
Yeah, sometimes we do magic with it.
Well, I'm sort of confused as to what our goal is right now. We sort of entered this place.
Our goal is to
Um,
perfect music and magic.
Well, no, that's
he's-
your goal.
He's asking out of character, I think, right?
No, I was asking in character to Orilyn
Oh, okay.
because we
Oh.
entered this area and we don't know what direction we're going in.
We're looking for the survivors that are in here.
Should we just keep going or entertain this statue?
I don't trust the statue.
So you're saying we should just keep going?
Yeah.
All right.
Are you going towards the music?
Well, we can play music while we go. He's gonna strum the
Okay.
instrument as we walk further.
Lyram will follow, walking sideways, so that he can continue watching you play music.
That's fine.
Okay.
We can kind of like end the
We'll
scene
go.
there. Like as you guys continue the way you were walking, we fade out there, and we fade in on someone else here. So maybe
Really quick before we do this, can Odayn make a performance check?
yeah, absolutely.
I just want to see if he thinks that you're terrible,
yeah, totally.
because he will tell you.
I just want to see if I'm gonna kill him, or how badly he
Yes,
plays
fight.
the song.
Do it.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Oh no!
The big old natural 3.
He's gonna make an investigation check as he stares at you. Your music is, how do I put it plainly? Bad. Incorrect. Keep working on it. There's a chance you could improve.
Do
He plays better
you
for people he likes.
do you have any suggestions? Any requests?
The timing seemed off on all of it,
All right. Well, maybe I'll work on a song for you.
and you played the wrong note at least once or twice. You were also off tempo.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll work on a new song for you. I'll get you to critique it later. How about that?
Good.
All right. First
These
of all,
characters are so good at making friends.
yeah, I just want to say I love the character already. I find him super entertaining. And so yeah, so then we fade in on Vash and Ishu back at the staircase. What are you doing?
Before we get into that, can I just say I am not sure how I feel about condensing. Is it like 2 years of playing now down into like a 10-minute explanation or 5?
We can do a better summary. More
That
in
made
depth
me
after.
feel like, whoa! I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah. I know. That wasn't meant to be like the introduction wasn't meant to be like
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
It made me think about how long we've actually been playing. And damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's been a while. And even before the stream, we had like at least like 30 sessions in this campaign. At least, maybe a little bit more.
Quite a bit, yeah.
So yeah, it's been a crazy long time.
About 2 years probably streaming and 3 years total, I guess.
Big thanks to all you guys for playing this long.
Yeah.
So, all right. Vash, what are you doing as we fade in?
I'd like to think that Vash is currently like cutting away bits of Lyre from this armor as I'm trying to. Did I separate the armor? I know I worked a space under the top to try and start.
If I recall, you pulled a piece off that was like an upper torso piece. Is that right? Like an upper left side or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
It was like part of a shoulder or something. And I think you also may have gotten something else. You wrote it down. I don't remember if you got like the wrist gauntlet thing, like the bracer thing.
I did not write it down. I didn't know I was supposed to.
Well,
that makes sense though.
If you get if you get something, definitely like write it down. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure what these are called. So the things coming out of the. So I've taken the 4 huge tentacles that connected to the back of the Lyre's head, right?
Sure.
Do I just call those Lyre? What do I call those?
Lyre pins.
You can call
Yes.
it. You can call it like Lyre metal tentacles, and
Okay.
you can put, if you grabbed all 4 of them, you have 4. They're much too long to put in a vial. Like if you're
Yeah.
you're gonna have to like coil these things up.
They're kind of like laying there at the moment.
Yeah, they're also like they're not light. They're made out of metal. But they are a bit flexible, so you could like coil them up if you like or whatever.
And then I believe the left. So the chest piece is 2 parts, left and right.
Yeah. So like the suit, if I recall, came apart. There was like an upper left, an upper right, and then there was like a lower abdominal piece. That kind of was like around the abs, like the lower stomach, belly button area, and a little bit to the sides. But it was like different pieces. And I think you tore one of the upper pieces off, and it was like attached to skin underneath or something. And you like burned it away or something. I don't remember if you did.
Right. Okay, so
Yeah, you can just
I
say
guess
like
I'll just continue doing that.
upper left, like torso armor for a Lyre. And yeah, I mean, if you want to pull the other pieces off, you can do that.
Yeah, I will. I guess continue working on that.
Okay.
I suppose in the mind link to Fiwa is Fiwa, right?
Yeah, Fiwa, yeah.
This elderly, the people guy.
Yeah, Fiwa of the
Um,
people. Yeah, the Githzerai guy.
yeah, we don't know that. I guess I'm trying to remember what was the last thing I asked him. I do not recall exactly. Something about capabilities.
Yeah, you were talking to him a little bit about like what they were capable of. I think I remember you asking them if they were like dressed like about the armor, about the blue guys, and he was like, we haven't seen them wearing blue before, but we've seen them wearing like sets of armor. We've seen them, and he basically something along the lines of we've seen them disguising themselves as like these elven creatures before that came up at some point too. And I don't know what else specifically was mentioned. It's been a week since then. But yeah, if you want to like ask him about what about him?
So these things, these liars, what was their goal when they enslaved your people?
Food, mostly, I think.
Oh, they eat you.
Brains. Slave force. They used us as a workforce of sorts. Sometimes warriors. Cannon fodder.
Interesting. Who were they fighting? Ishu, burn that bit right there.
Okay. And, like jets of fire from his hand. Sorry, and the question was, who were they fighting?
Yeah.
He says, everyone they could find. They would go world to world, harvest them, or destroy them. They weren't a use to them. They fought your kind for a time.
My kind. What do you mean?
Kalishtar. You are a Kalishtar, aren't you?
So I've been told.
Hmm.
What are they? My kind. You run into them before?
Not me. It's been a long time since anyone's seen a Kalishtar, as far as I know. Thought they were wiped out. There's some stories we've heard. Kalishtar were very advanced civilization. They had technology like the Lyres. They had machines that did things for them. Also, very strong minds. But as far as we know, there's no records we've been able to find that say otherwise. They simply disappeared.
And they fought the liars.
Yes. We
Did you fight Kalishtar for him?
are people. Perhaps. Don't know. Wasn't alive then. This was generations ago. Even for our people. But The Lyres have caused nothing but pain and misery for everyone they've encountered.
Hmm.
That's why the Master
They never
saved
seem to
us.
have any kind of. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that's why the Master saved us. Go ahead.
They never seem to have any kind of goal beyond food.
Control. Rumor is they were gods once, or will be. Master knows more of the specifics of how it works, I think.
Of course, they were. Or a rocky hit a god anymore.
But maybe so. More than you realize.
Your people have any gods?
Gods. No. Our people seek self-fulfillment. We have a messiah of sorts, I suppose, the master who saved us, but God is not a term we particularly use for him. Just a wise man. An immortal man, sure, but still a man.
So no gods, no belief in a higher power.
Well, there is a higher power, certainly. But it's different for everyone, I think. The path isn't identical for everyone. We seek enlightenment above all things.
Interesting.
He says, swords are sharp, sure. Magics can be potent, but the strongest weapon is the mind. I would think you of all people would know that, wouldn't you, Kalishtar?
I think I might actually like you.
He says, you're not so different. But you have a fire that burns in you, don't you?
I don't think Vash responds to that.
He says, perhaps you get along more with the others, the ones who left us.
Left you. What do you mean?
Our people used to, long ago, be greater in number. When we first escaped the Lyres, there were more of us, but some of us disagreed on certain things and parted ways. Some were more focused on war, serving their own bloodlust or need for combat. Others sought peace and enlightenment for all beings.
So you seek peace.
We do.
So you don't fight.
That's where it becomes a complicated question, does it not? Should a pacifist defend itself? Or simply accept death? No, we train strong warriors still, but not for the purpose of war, harm, but simply to defend ourselves.
They don't make war, but you'd certainly fight in one if one came to you. Doesn't seem like a big difference.
This is the way of things, but the others go on raids. They look for people to subjugate. War is a way of life for them, in some ways.
Sounds like they picked that up from these.
Perhaps. There are those of us who thought that it was because of fighting so hard to break free of them that it left a mark on their souls, and it was just something they could not let go. Like flipping a switch that can't be flipped back, I suppose. Wow. Okay.
Out of here, Vyra. Subjective. I think Vash will be quiet for a minute as he focuses on continuing to like remove the suit from this guy.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, I'm not gonna make you keep rolling. I think your roll from last session will still suffice. You take off like the other upper chest piece and abdominal piece, I presume.
Yeah, when I get them off, do they seem like they, if I just hold them up, do they reattach to each other in some way?
No, they just seem like pieces of metal with these weird like nodules on the inside where the skin was, like where the skin was attached, but it's now burned away.
Okay, and I think I already broke.
Go ahead.
Oh, go.
I was gonna say it doesn't like
No,
light
go for
up. It doesn't like light up or like magnetize together when you. There's no reaction from them. They seem like inert, I guess is the best way to put it.
So there's the two like breastplates and then the abdominal piece.
Yeah.
And I already broke the glass wrist device that it had, right?
Yeah.
Trying to wrench that off. Is there anything else?
Let's take a look at this guy. I mean, there are like some leg pieces. It looks like. I mean, you kind of got the gauntlet wrist thing there. You know, the tentacle things.
So we'll close the image.
If you just click on it, it should.
Where?
Like just anywhere on the screen, it'll disappear. You just click anywhere.
No, yeah, I did that, so I can't look at it. There we go.
Oh, you want me to reshare it? Gotcha.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, I see.
But yeah, it's basically what it looks like. It's a pretty.
I guess I mean I may as well go for the whole thing if I'm gonna do it. So I guess I will start removing the leg pieces.
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
We'll say there's like an upper leg piece, like a thigh piece, and like a calf piece on each leg. If you want to add those, you can take them off. I mean, same process, burning away the skin underneath them and stuff. So like, just this corpse is gonna be a total mess. Like, it's not gonna be a pretty sight when you get done with this thing. But yeah, you can do that.
Oh, you don't even know. I'm not done. So, I'm unsure. Vash is unsure how. I don't know how much more time you want to spend before you go back to the others, but he's unsure how these things. He can see how the armor connects, but the metal tentacles seem to connect to some type of interface embedded in the back of its head, right?
Yeah, like if you
Matrix style.
Yeah, Matrix style. Like if you look at once you get the strap and everything off, that's kind of like wrapped around the head, and you get all the tentacles off, and you're looking at the back of the head. If I recall, there's like a circle like Matrix plugin, like for like basically from the Matrix.
Right.
There's like a metal thing that these things plug into on the back of its head.
Great.
Yeah.
Aishu, you might want to take a step back
What? Why?
because you're in the splash zone.
Okay. All right.
And then just to, I've been like carving away at this thing's flesh and stuff, and I assume I've gotten some of its like blood on my hands. Nothing's happened. There hasn't been any like reactions or anything, right? Because I'm pretty sure I tested it to begin with.
Okay. So I had assumed you were careful enough not to get like worms, any of the worms on you or anything.
Not the worms, no. I'm just talking about like fluids from this thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair to say. Yeah, there's been no like reaction. The blood and stuff is mostly black, as opposed to like red blood. And you know,
I think I have a vial of that.
It's gross. Yeah, but it smells awful. Like just the worst. Like rotted fish in a way, like this weird kind of combination between like rotted fish and like cheese, like old cheese. But yeah, it's disgusting. But yeah, you don't have like any reaction to it or anything.
I've just added cooking to that list of smells. Cooking rotting fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess as I assume you're probably ready to swap away from me. As we fade out, Vash begins to carve into this thing's brain and separate this apparatus from it.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm collecting it.
Cool.
It's just brain apparatus? I don't know.
Oh boy.
Lyre brain interface?
Yeah, you can put that. Put that as the title, for what it is. And it's like it's okay, so let's decide how it looks. And so you carve it out of there. Of course, we cut away while, like, if this is a show, we're cutting away while you're doing this. But I just want you go ahead and get the picture in your head of what this thing. So it's longer than you would think it would be, right? Like it's buried in the back of this thing's like brainstem, but it's oddly like bigger than you thought it would be. So like 5-6 inches long, this long metal like cylinder, and on the outside of it are all these like spines, I guess, like sort of like metal, like they fold down when you put pressure on them, so they don't like poke you or anything. But it's like where it connects to this thing's brain or nervous system, basically.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to not be made of like one metal piece, but like a bunch of very intricate small metal pieces, and like you could always try like taking it apart if you're able to sit with it and kind of work with it for a while. Maybe you can find some ways to pull it apart or something. But yeah, it's like this weird little piece of like nanotech or something. That's the best way to put it.
Sting. Okay. How much does all this stuff weigh? They don't seem like very big physical beings, so I assume not a huge amount, but probably some.
So the the metal is like a titanium or something, right? So it's like a very strong metal, but it's very light. It's probably kind of weird. I don't know if you'd ever see metal this light before. But you know, the long big coil things are kind of like heavy. It's like a lot of metal. The like the armor pieces on their own pretty light. But altogether, like the whole set of armor is probably 20 pounds, 30 pounds. We'll say 25.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Whereas the coils, we'll say, are like 10 pounds a piece. But they're fairly strong. It's not enough. We'll say 15 pounds apiece.
That seems like the majority.
But yeah, they're like this super strong light metal.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
All right. I guess we will cut back to the other people here. 1 second. Okay, so we fade into you guys, and the scene we have is you guys walking along in the forest. You're further down this trail than we saw you guys earlier, and the forest has been fairly thick. Maybe you've been walking together now for, I'd say, at least a few minutes, maybe 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, up to you guys. The forest has been fairly thick, overgrown so far. But a worn path sort of reemerges in the brush, and the forest does start to thin out. As you're walking forward, you do start to hear the distant sounds of like people talking and interacting. And then you also hear like the much more distant sound of like water lapping at a land's edge, like a beach's edge, or maybe where you'd hear like water lapping on the shore of like a lake. And you hear an old man singing as he's playing a lute. And you start to see like supplies scattered on the ground. And that's where I'll pull you guys onto this map. Here. Should all be able to see, right?
Yeah, I see.
Okay. And let me see here. Okay, so and like up in the trees around you, you do see some like makeshift dwellings that have been sort of some may haphazardly built in the trees, some may be sort of like grown in the trees, or sort of just like the tree is made into this dwelling. And like I said, there's sort of like scattered supplies along the ground. It's almost like a lot of this stuff is stuff that's being moved. So there's up ahead, you would see some people. Let me put them on the map here. These people are sort of like carrying things back and forth to these various dwellings in the trees. So they're like coming and grabbing bags, and they're like carrying up these like steps or ladders into these trees. And you hear someone is wrapping up a song on a lute, and they finish playing the song, and you hear like one or two people clap, and yeah, and they start getting back to work carrying things. The sound of the lake is up to the north, like just off the map. There is like a lake up there. What are you guys doing?
Lyram ignores the group and wanders towards where he heard the music. Just without a word.
Yeah, it's coming from up here. This direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orilyn was following in a way that she would be behind Lyram. So I don't know where he was in the order as we were traveling, but she was keeping watch on him in case he tried anything. But when they get closer and he just keeps on walking towards the music, Orilyn will I don't know. Is he moving ahead of the group?
He isn't trying. He doesn't care whether or not the group is following him. He's just going towards the music. So, if the group is trying to keep up with them, then they probably can.
Okay. She's
But he's dashing.
going. Yeah, she's going for the first figure she sees.
Yeah, the first figure you see is an Eladrin who is in summer. It's a man, and he's grabbed a few things from this pile of stuff here, and he's started to head back towards this tree dwelling here. There's also a few other Eladrin nearby, different seasons. Just doing various different similar tasks, just carrying and loading goods.
They react all when Lyram just like dashed through them.
Do what? Do you bash?
Do any of them do anything when I'm just running past them, kind of ignoring them?
They sort of, yeah. They sort of turn and look at you kind of quizzically, but they don't seem like alarmed or threatened by your presence. Just kind of like, what? There's kind of this confused look on their face. They don't know what you are. I don't think, as they watch you like run by. What's your passive perception, Lyra?
12?
12?
Yeah.
The music was coming from somewhere around here.
Yeah, he's gonna keep running around.
Yeah.
Do I recognize any of the Eladrin?
Do you want to make a check to see if you recognize any of them? Let's see. Would it be like history or what do you think? Perception? What do you think, Wolf? What would be a fair check for this? No, don't help.
I think history would work, right?
Yeah, I think history.
All right. Go ahead.
Nope.
a couple of them look familiar, sort of, but yeah, you don't know them personally. But when they see you, they kind of like light up and look at each other. They react more positively than they did with Lyram or Odayn. Certainly.
Hello.
These people are like they're in the middle of carrying stuff, and they stop and turn to you guys. Oh, hi. What are you guys doing here? The green one steps up to start talking to you guys.
We heard there were survivors here.
Yeah, that's right. We're a little short on space, but if you can find, a spot that you want to pick out, just try to find a spot that's unclaimed. We're hoping for some more people to get here. We're just trying to sort of set up a camp, I guess, something that'll do for the time being.
Is this all of our people?
Well, it's all the ones that made it here. Most of us were out on a scouting party when things started to go wrong. We made it here. We haven't heard any news about any others. What's it? Did you guys just come from outside?
Yes.
What's it like out there?
It's very dangerous. We just dispatched a big threat right outside the stairs, but we don't know what else is out there.
Oh, geez, that's no good. Okay. Any word about Mithrandain or any other settlements?
We're actually on our way there.
Okay. Good.
Well, close to there. We heard.
Oh, go ahead.
We heard that there were survivors that were taking refuge in the Fey Dark. and we were heading to the Mithrandane entrance. But now we found you all. We were expecting to find survivors with Uberma.
Uberma is the guy, I guess, who's in charge of this place, right? Haven't met him. What's he like?
I don't know either.
We're actually here to see the wizard.
Oh,
Do you know anyone here who knows where he is?
There's this unicorn guy.
Oh yeah, Agape, right?
Yeah. He seems pretty friendly. Said he works for him. Said that Ubermom may be returning shortly, but that we were welcome to use this place as like to make a refuge or just basically to hold out until things get better or perhaps indefinitely. I don't really know. We just got here, actually. It's kind of strange that you guys are here now.
Yeah, we. Go ahead.
What was it like when you got here?
Well, like I said, most of us were out scouting with different people at the time. Look, all I saw was two of the other scouts that were with me get killed by these strange like creatures, these strange things. They were like abominations, really. Strange flesh creatures with tentacles. The forest and the wild itself was starting to change. It wasn't the same forest I grew up in. There was like this weird skin stuff that started growing on everything. Anyways, after the other scouts I was with were killed by these monsters, I had escaped, and while running was just lucky to come upon this place. And there was this unicorn who said that, we'd be safe here. And I came in, and I met the others who were here. I'm guessing they escaped from similar situations.
How many of you guys are there?
Oh, well, there's basically what you see here. We've got a couple people that are just out looking for fruit, that kind of thing. Some of the others were saying that they saw like some signs that maybe some of the Archfey made it in. Actually, just down that way, there's a fresh lake for fishing. It looks like we checked it out. We did have time to check it out. It does look like there is actual fish in there, so that's nice. The place isn't exactly like home, but it'll do for the time being, I guess.
Well, if you guys need help with fishing, I can help out with that. Do you guys have some equipment?
Equipment.
Fishing rod, a line, a hook, bait.
Oh, I don't actually think we do have any equipment. You'll have to look. I would check with him, and he points to her rather, and he points to this lady, the Winter Fae. Let's see what her name is. He says, that lady over there, that's Vakreet. I haven't seen exactly what she has. She might have some fishing gear. She'd probably be the most likely, I would say, if you want to check with her.
Is she the leader?
Well, we don't really have a leader at the moment. We're sort of scattered. We haven't really. We're just trying to get by right now.
Has she been here the longest then?
Longer than I have, certainly. I was the last one to arrive. Yeah. Odds are. Yeah, you'll have to talk with. And he points to this guy, who's like walking off and gets up in the tree as he's like putting some stuff down. And he's like, "That's Fubaya. If you want to have a speak with him, I think he knows a little bit more about how long the others have been here than I do.
I see. And excuse me. And you said you just got here. Like you haven't even spent a night.
Well, I mean, it's been a day or two. Lost track of time. Really, it's only been enough time for us to sort of check out the immediate area, kind of get our bearings, check out the lake. Yeah, it hasn't been that long, has it? Sort of like looks over to this lady who's like in the middle of taking inventory of stuff, and she turns back and she says, "I've been here for 3 days. He's been here for about a day and a half." She turns back to what she was doing.
And the forest would just becoming corrupted with flesh?
Yeah. Right. Why? Has it gotten worse?
I think you've been here longer than a day and a half.
He kind of looks confused, and he looks at this lady, and she kind of like raises an eyebrow, and like she starts listening to what you guys are saying.
About was it 2 or 3 days ago that we first got to the Feywilds?
Yeah, it's been several days. Yeah.
Yeah. A few days ago we arrived here we've arrived in the Feywilds, and the forest, the dryad era guy was already fully corrupted.
That he looks at her, and then she looks at him, and there's like this moment of like where they're like, "No, that doesn't add up. That doesn't make much sense."
Perhaps it's because you're not in the Feywilds anymore. Your sense of time is off.
Or it could be that time passes differently here.
This is true also.
We're not in the Feywilds, right? This is a different
Here's my
area.
Here's my question. Is it common knowledge that like the Feywild does timey-wimey stuff to people who like are leaving and entering an exit?
Yeah, people of the Fey, ones that travel often, they can learn where like the entrances and exits are, and use it as a type of quick travel, where they go like to that location, go to the material plane or whichever plane it takes them to, and then find the nearest one that takes them back to the Feywild, and put them in a new place.
So they
not all of them, but
Okay.
ones that are well traveled.
Let me see. Ooh. Yeah, they're confused. They have no idea. They have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, no, it just happened a few days ago. Don't be ridiculous.
All right. Well, no use arguing. Orilyn, why don't we, I guess, rest up here, wait for our godfight to come back?
Sure, but they're still outside. If time is going differently, then we might be here for a few days.
I mean, do you want to go back out there and drag Vash into here? Vash isn't really someone you'd hurry along.
Should we at least let him know? Like, hey, we're gonna be in here and some days might pass.
I mean, the only way to let him know is to go back.
Yeah, but we don't have to stay out there.
How long was the trek here, Sam?
A few minutes. We'll say like 20 minutes from the top of the stairs.
Um,
You guys left a
Okay, well-
mayonnaise trail though, right?
Yeah. We get to check on our mayonnaise trail, make sure it's still there.
okay, I guess we can go back.
While this is going on, I would have continued running to try to find what he's assuming is hearsome, because he would like to hear some music.
Make a perception check.
Can I make an investigation?
Sure, yeah.
As he runs off, Orilyn will point in his direction and say, "You might want to keep watch on that thing."
21.
All right, so you see this guy putting away a loot, like carrying it up to the tree.
Wait.
He was seated by like a little bonfire, and he's starting to head back towards the tree.
Are you the goat with the lute and the music?
He looks up at you and he says, "What in the hell are you?"
I'm but an auto gnome in search of music.
Music, huh?
Music.
You're a fan.
Similar to magic.
Okay, yeah, it is, I suppose. Well, he kind of like crosses his arms and like, let's hear what you got, little gnome. Why don't you play some music?
I pull out a ornate bronze framed lyre, and I will make a and you said I can make checks with other things if I want to on the for playing music. It just might be it might just work differently, right?
Sure, yeah.
So I don't know exactly how that how that would work, but
So-
could I make like so I have proficiency with the instrument,
Yeah.
and could I make the check with proficiency and using another another score, another ability score, so like dexterity or intelligence, and it just wouldn't be charming, it would just be accurate.
Yeah, I suppose intelligence would be fine. for
Okay.
this.
So proficiency plus intelligence would be +8.
Okay. Oh, really? So he kind of he kind of like tilts his head, and as like what does it look like when you're doing this?
He's paying very close attention to what he's doing, and it's very precise, but it's certainly robotic and there's no life in the performance. But it's very accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he kind of like nods his head here and there. He says, "No, that's okay. All right. No, that's very well played. You got every note correct. But where's the soul?"
Still,
Well, every musical performance has to have some soul, no?
I agree, no.
No. Oh.
Yes?
Look, let me show you something. And he like he's got the lute still in his hand, and he like flicks his wrist and the lute disappears. And he like reaches behind him and he pulls out a fiddle from seemingly out of nowhere, like a little bowstring, and he kind of like tucks them under one arm and then like pops his fingers, he pulls them back out, and he starts to strum a note. Can you make a intelligence save?
Yes.
Okay.
28.
So 28. So you save. So you're fine. So here's what happens. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. It's actually not a good. It's actually not a good thing. You take some damage. 3d8 psychic damage. So you take 13 psychic damage. And it's weird because the song is supposed to be like you feel the magical effect of this being like a strong sensation of pleasure and like tranquility. And it almost kind of like it's an odd feeling to you, first of all. Maybe you're not familiar with the feeling of like pleasure and tranquility at all. Like maybe you just don't understand emotions at all. So it's like this really weird feeling that starts to come over you, and then you shake it off, and instead you take psychic damage. So good job.
He'll wipe the machine oil from under his nose. That was jarring.
He goes, "Huh, you didn't enjoy that too much, huh?
No.
Whoops. That was weird."
Indeed.
We just see you guys kind of staring at each other for a moment, and he goes, why don't you give this a listen? And he starts to play a song. It's quite a long song. Do you sit and listen for at least a minute?
Yeah, he'll pay very, very close attention.
Okay. Make a wisdom save.
He's maybe even taking notes during it.
Oh, it's a fail. Okay, you are charmed. While charmed, you idolize this man. And the charmed condition will only end. It'll end after 1 hour, or if you take any damage, or if you see this man attack someone that you consider an ally. So
That was very good.
So yeah, he doesn't stop playing. So he keeps playing, and it's weird. It's like it's like he grows the third hand. So suddenly the music is still going somehow, but he's also like sticking a mug of ale in your face. He's like, "Here, drink this." And then like the other people around, the other satyrs, they start to like tapping their foot and dancing. And like it's starting to turn into like a show.
Yeah, Lyram tries to do his best to drink it, but he doesn't actually have a mouth that lets him drink, so he kind of just pours it on himself.
Okay. All right.
He just kind of pours it at his face, and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's just ale. So yeah, now you just have ale just like running down the front of you. And these other satyrs are starting to get a little wild, and they're singing and dancing. Like this one here is doing this weird interpretive dance, like where they're like just moving all weird and doing these weird postures. Yeah, it's starting to turn into a party over here. Also, I think it's fair to say that like 1 or 2 more people hear the noise from up in like the nearby dwellings and come out to take part. So it's like starting to turn into a real party over here. The rest of you guys, while this is going on, you do hear the commotion. It's not too far away. It sounds like there's a party breaking out, and your boy Lyram is at the center of it.
Orilyn, before we go find Vash. Can we go check that out?
Yeah, we should probably make sure he's not causing trouble.
Are we partying now? Is this a good time?
He kind of like stops playing for a second, and he says, "Yeah, this is a good time. By the way,
Oh,
you're compelled to take part of the charms that you idolize this guy, and you will take.
yeah.
It says you will take part in this revel. Is what it says. So-
He kind of. I'm assuming he was probably sitting down or like standing still. He kind of looks around at everyone dancing back and forth, and then he does his best attempt to try to dance. Can I make an investigation check to try to watch how everyone else is dancing?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, and then can I make an acrobatics check to try to match everyone else's dancing?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you're able to match it like exactly. It's weird because you're just doing the exact same moves as the other people dancing. So like they're doing these weird interpretive dances that sort of flow with the music, and you're sort of just like watching them and making the same motions, but it's like robotic, and it's kind of like there's no musicality to it. It's just kind of like you're doing these weird postures, and it's very like formal and kind of cold. Yeah. And the rest of you guys are just gonna go see what's going on over there. Or, like,
Yeah, I'm gonna explore.
some of these people are starting to react as well.
I'm gonna take Melora by the hand and then drag her over. Hey, Melora, let's go look. Let's go figure out what's happening over there.
Yeah, she's like,
And
"Do you hear water? I hear. Sounds like running water nearby."
yeah, they said that there's a beach up north.
Yeah, she seems excited and follows along.
Orilyn does not want to be separated from them, so she'll be like,
Grab
we'll
Sha'ah.
be back to talk later, and she goes off to follow them.
Yeah, they're just like, "Huh, what an odd bunch." Anyways, we got work to do. And they start gathering stuff. Sha'ah, you're free to do whatever you like. I didn't mean
Right, so Shaw's gonna be like, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. The 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 Archfacer Nunos was here. Unfortunately, he died. Are there any other Archface that came in?
Wait, did Sir Nunos die?
He thought Nunos was Clayus.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
That's why he was blessing me and
that's
freaked out when I died.
That makes so much sense. I'm sorry.
He was the horned one.
Yeah, it makes sense. So you're asking if there's any other Archfey nearby?
Mhm.
Yeah, these two say, yeah, there might be a few actually. And they sort of point in this direction. And then this one just looks at you. She just looks at you kind of solemnly, and then just looks over here. She doesn't even say anything. Just like looks at
Looks over there.
Looks
you. Yeah,
over
Okay.
where-
looks in the direction
Oh.
that Lyram is. And then goes back.
Maybe that's where. Okay, then I start heading towards the group.
Yeah. So we see you guys joining in on this party. I guess that's a good point to take our halftime break, and then we'll cut back to Vash. It's been 2 hours already. What the crap?
I know, right?
Holy
Time
smokes!
flies when you're having fun.
So I hope you guys weren't expecting this to be used as a battle map. I mean, I hope you don't plan on just like slaughtering these people. But
I say
maybe-
go for it.
Maybe you will. I don't know.
Orilyn will be very upset.
All right. So why don't we take our like 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and pick up with Vash and see what he's doing during all this. All right. Well, thanks, guys, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, Wolf. You good?
Yep.
All right. We will fade back in with Vash and Ishu and the unicorn kind of just standing there, and also the Gith around you guys, sort of just standing there and observing all of this. We could use this cutaway to have some time elapse if there's something else you're wanting to do that might take a few minutes or a little bit of time. Up to you.
I would say yes, but there was some I wanted to do before the thing that would take some time.
That's fine. We can just pick up wherever you like.
So basically, while Vash is like carving into this brain and removing the interface for these tentacles out loud to Ishu, who's now a little ways away, so talking a little bit louder. But so Ishu,
Yeah.
I had a question for you.
Okay. What?
Do you remember Drogo?
Yeah.
Do you remember Kei Coupe?
I do.
Is it just me, or are they starting to drop like flies? Now Seraphina's gone. Tim before.
I was just starting to like Clayus. I mean, I don't think he did all that stuff on purpose.
Oh, I guess there's Clay's too. I wasn't really upset about that one, but
Yeah. Everybody's dying. What's your point?
I'm not sure what my point is. Originally, I thought, I guess, that I don't know.
What?
I guess I thought they were important, you know? They seemed capable enough, I suppose.
Like, like they were meant for something greater. That's what I thought about Tim. But
Either more annoying, whatever. Vash kind of mumbles that.
yeah, I think the unicorn says like into both of your minds. He says loss can be a very painful and difficult thing to deal with, especially when we lose those close to us, or perhaps regret the way we treated them, took them for granted. Survivor's
Vash will
guilt
just
is a difficult thing.
Yeah, while he's carving, Vash will just like glance over his shoulder and raise an eyebrow at the unicorn. Yeah, I think you misunderstood. I'm not upset exactly.
What is it then?
Vash turns back to Ishu.
I'm upset.
What? That's. Are you really though?
Yeah. My friends keep dying.
Fair, I suppose. What exactly do we do about that? Try as I might, I can't seem to keep these fuckers alive.
Agape, Ishu kind of like thinks for a minute, and Agape says, well, one thing some people do is try to make their death be for some reason, to have it mean something, or to try and live a certain way in their memory.
Hold on here. That makes no fucking sense. You're gonna change the way you live because someone died?
To honor them.
But they're holy because they died?
No, not necessarily.
Well then, what's the point?
I suppose the point in that would be for you. If it's something that makes it easier. But if it's not all that difficult to begin with, then I suppose there's no need for it.
The difficult part is being alive. Being dead's easy.
It's certainly one way to look at it, I suppose. Not untrue. Yeah, but I'd rather have Tim here. Even Clay.
You think he would have been useful?
It's not always about being useful. As annoying as he was fun to have around.
Wait. So we're attacked on a regular basis by shite that wants to eat our faces and turn us into things like this. How is being useful not important?
Vash, what? How? Agape, will you explain this? How is it that I have to be the one to explain this to you? Yeah, we're being attacked all the time and almost killed all the time, but all we have is each other. That's the only constant in everything that's happened since I left that cave. Is usually we have each other's backs, right? Or what? You just keep me around because I'm useful?
That's kind of my point, is even though we have each other's backs, they keep dying. Must be doing something wrong.
Yeah, well, their mistakes were made, sure. Maybe somebody should have zigged when they zagged or whatever. But look, I don't know. Agape, help me out. Help me here. Just and Agape says it's not a question of doing something wrong. People die. It just happens sometimes. It's not always when it's convenient. And sometimes it has nothing to do with us.
I think we're going to have to agree to disagree.
There's not always something we can do to stop it. We just
I don't believe that.
have to do the best with what we have. Like you, taking this thing apart. hoping to learn from it, I presume, or perhaps use it in some way, maybe to keep someone alive or keep yourself alive. We don't always have all the pieces at the start. You glance at Ishu, and he's like, he's kind of like, I mean, he's looking at you, but he looks a little annoyed, like now you're annoying him. And his gaze kind of softens a little bit. What?
If you die, it'll be my fault. That's what I think. If I can't keep you alive, then I'm to blame.
It's keeping me alive is not your responsibility or anybody else's. I could have stayed. I could have stayed in Kosatin, or whatever that town is called. I could have stayed there. Or you guys could have killed me in that cave, right? All the other kobolds.
Do you think it was... Were you just lucky? You were the one that was spared? What do you think of that?
I think I'm clearly the best kobold.
I tend to agree. Do you feel like you have some kind of fate? Do you believe in fate?
Fate? No, I don't know.
You do know what fate is, right?
Yeah, I know what fate is. I just, I don't know. I just go with the flow. I mean, kobolds don't really live long, right? Then a lot of kobolds never leave the cave. I did. And I get to see a bunch of crazy things and get attacked by monsters all the time, but it's better than the life of most kobolds, I think.
Good. I'm glad you don't regret it. Vash is gonna... So after I remove this apparatus, Vash is gonna settle down and take the 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic as a ritual. Just to take a glance at these things and see if they're magical in some way.
Okay. You detect magic. Can you link the spell?
Yeah, do that.
Man, talking like Ishu really hurts my voice.
Sorry.
Gosh.
Doesn't surprise
You
me.
gotta make some honey, tea with honey. That'll help a lot.
Let's see here.
Makes me feel bad because I like to talk to Ishu.
Yeah, I mean, I like talking as Ishu, but it's hard for long periods. Let's see here. Action to see faint aura, creature, object appears magic. So tons of magic coming from the unicorn, tons of magic coming from the staircase. Definitely magic coming from Ishu, your wildfire spirit, and yes, the pieces that you have separated from this thing.
Do I know what school for these objects?
Let me take a look at our handout.
If it's just basic defensive magic, it'd probably be abjuration.
Let's see here. Okay. There's probably a bit of from different schools. Okay. There's there is some illusion magic. It's not like an illusion right now, but some of the armor does have recent illusion auras coming off of it. There's also a bit of enchantment. I think there's probably actually just a bit of all the schools in this armor.
Are they like each piece is a different school, or is
No.
it like all of them have a little bit of each?
All of them have a little bit of each.
I don't think I've ever seen any type of object that has a little bit of each school, right?
Well, they've all had magic cast on them fairly recently. But I will say this: the neural implant thing, very strong necromancy vibes, and I think probably the whole armor has a fairly, like, let's say that neural implant is like extreme necromancy vibes, but the whole armor in general has a little bit of necromancy. Is like kind of overpowering the rest of the stuff. So there's still like a baseline. I'll say evocation's not in there at all, actually.
So, okay. Interesting. Okay. I guess I will. You said that there was a way to like bind the arms together so they're slightly easier. The big metal tentacles, so they're easier to carry.
Yeah, like coil them up or something like that would be fine.
Okay. And maybe I'll use a sash or something to like tie it into a bundle that I can carry.
Yeah, you could almost just like coil them all up into a coil and just like drape it over your torso, right? So like you could just like carry it around your body, kind of like
a bundle of rope, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Slung over the shoulder. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Like over your head and one shoulder, and then
does it look like there's anything else useful to get or learn from this Lyre body?
I mean, that's up to you.
It's up to me. Okay.
There's still organs and stuff in there, worms and.
Yeah, I think I'm good for now. I will. I have that actually. If I cast, I don't know if this will work. If I cast Spare the Dying on this Lyre thing, will it slow the rate of decay on the corpse at all?
There's a different spell for that. Gentle Repose,
okay.
I think, is the spell that does that.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yep.
All right, fair enough. Then I will just hang on. Well, I think I'm done with it. You ready to go, Ishu?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to go.
Do you want to try eating any of this thing, or?
No, I'd rather eat people.
Good. I wouldn't advise it. It's a very smart choice.
Yeah, I'm pretty smart.
I agree. To Fiwa, in the mind link, I'll just say thank you for your assistance.
Yeah, he kind of tilts his head. He says, not a problem.
As I'm going up these steps, can I check them out? I guess I might still have Detect Magic running. It's 10 minutes.
So there's tons of magic emanating from these steps. A lot of illusion because, reasons. Let me see here. Let me put our magic table back up. Take a look at some stuff. There's also some strong evocation vibes coming from it. Let's see here. A little bit of abjuration. And that is probably about it. What languages do you speak?
I think it was Sylvan that it's wrote in, right? Well, I guess there was multiple languages. I speak Druidic, Dwarven, Primordial, Quarry, Sylvan,
Common. So
Common.
yeah, so it's written in 3 languages. I think it was Gith, Sylvan, and Common. So you see the same. There's like a different line on each stair. Looking down at the steps as you start to walk up them. You look down at the first step, and on it, maybe as you step on it, you see the words before time. There was the formless chaos. In the chaos, the master formed order from simplicity and solace. And as soon as your foot makes contact with the step, roll me a d2.
Sorry, I was recording that. From the chaos, the master formed order from simplicity and solace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very vague. Okay.
Slow.
So when your foot makes contact with it, you take 12 psychic damage. You're resistant to psychic, right?
Yeah, that's why I take 6.
What
does it feel like? Yeah, what does it feel like?
It feels like every nerve ending in your body set on fire at the same time. As the pain, I mean, while not extreme, it is significantly painful. Maybe a slight nosebleed. Maybe you feel your ears pop as the damage just rakes through your body. Everyone around you seems surprised that this has happened. And the 2 guys here guarding the steps tense up, like they look like they're ready to fight you, but they're watching what you're doing. They take like a combat stance. Ishu looks extremely concerned as he watches.
Not reassuring.
As he watches this. Tulpa, you hear Tulpa's voice in your mind as this damage rips through you. You hear Tulpa cry out in pain, where he's like, what was that? What was that?
So as soon as I feel the pain, I will step back onto the marble.
Okay.
So I will retreat slightly.
Yeah.
And taking a moment to think about it, I will try setting down all the stuff right here at the base of the steps, and then try stepping on it again.
Oh, there was
the mind flare stuff.
There was one more detail I left out. After Tulpa is like, what was that? You hear Tulpa's voice in your mind say, before time, there was the formless chaos. In that chaos, the master formed order from simplicity and solace. Very monotone. It's almost like it's not Tulpa's. It's like a recording kind of, but you wouldn't really know what a recording is.
Interesting. What do you own about Tulpa?
What was that?
I guess I'm back here before I take my second step. I don't know. You can see it. Chanted stairs of some sort, supposed to lead us to Ubermaw's man cave.
That was quite painful. I did not enjoy that at all.
Well,
he kind of sounds winded.
Still yourself, because we need to go up it.
These 2 guys are staring you down.
Yeah.
You say they get worse.
I say it might get worse. Yeah. So I'm gonna try setting all the stuff down, and then gingerly putting my foot on the step, but I'm keeping my weight on my back leg.
Yeah, the first step that you just stepped on, there's no reaction this time.
Vash kind of picks the stuff up, takes a step again. I assume I get hit.
Yeah, you go to the second stair.
Oh, so the first step doesn't hurt me again when I step on it with the...
Correct.
Okay. So then Vash is tries the first step for the third time with the stuff, doesn't get hurt. is confused. Takes another step, I guess. Is there more writing?
Yeah. So we see you step onto the second stair. Let me pull this onto the map here so you
Oh,
guys.
cool. I like this.
Are you
There's
familiar?
a lot of steps.
Are
Oh
you,
no.
Yeah. There's just as many steps as you see on the screen.
Good, great.
So let me do this. Okay. So I think you know where this is going. So you're familiar with the Jacob's Ladder?
I am not.
There's a movie called Jacob's Ladder. It's sort of like a purification, like it's of the soul in the afterlife. So it's kind of the premise of the movie. Long story short. So you step onto the second stair, and the pain ripples through you again. Roll me a D2.
Awesome.
Okay, this time it's lightning damage.
Okay.
And you take 8 lightning damage.
I take 4 because I'm also resistant to that.
Okay, right on. Good stuff. All right. Okay. And there's that.
Kind of expecting some type of damage, but not that. Vash will endure it, but hold still and not continue forward for a minute.
Yeah, you hear Tulpa reacting again. And this time it sounds a little something like this. Vash, what's going on? What was
Tulpa?
that? And then it cuts out for a second. And this time in your mind, after that, you hear Tulpa's voice, and it says, "The master found the people drifting in the formless chaos, and looked upon our suffering and felt pity."
Do you have can you post these so I don't have to type them out?
Yeah. Here, I'll go ahead and
Okay.
just go ahead and post the first two.
All right.
I'll put it in the Roll20 chat.
That's fine. Okay. So copy paste is lovely. Oops. So I'm gonna turn. I call out to Tulpa once more. Tulpa.
I'm here. What is going on?
I don't know, about to find out. Agape, what the hell's going on with this?
Yeah, you hear Agape. This time these guys are like they're like they step in between you two and you and Ishu maybe.
Great.
And they're like they seem like they're expecting you to attack them. Like they've taken like a defensive fighting stance with their, they don't use weapons. They're monk types. Monk type Pokemon. And Agape says into your mind, well, this is quite unexpected. It's made to only keep out the Lyres.
Is it the equipment I'm carrying?
I don't know. Perhaps.
Can you do something about this? It's starting to get a little annoying.
He stares at these guys for a moment, and one of them turns around and faces the unicorn.
Vash is studiously ignoring the fact that they might attack him at the moment.
and Agape says in your mind, the people are saying that it is some kind of defense for the Lyres. It's supposed to keep them from ascending the stairs. It shouldn't affect anyone else but their enemy. And then they exchange looks again for a moment. And then Agape says, well, that's not entirely true. Turns out there could be some that aren't enemies that this picks up on as well. But the good news is Well, it sounds kind of complicated. Hang on one second. And they stare. Him and one of these guys stare back and forth for a second in silence. And then he comes back in and he says, "Okay, so there are some creatures in existence that are similar to Lyres. Similar abilities. The good news is it shouldn't kill you as long as you're not actually one of them. And you're not, right?
That's reassuring. As far as I know, everybody keeps calling me Kalstar.
Okay.
As far as I know, I'm human.
Maybe, okay. Okay, maybe they don't know what a Kalish... Wait. No, they do. They know what a Kalishtar is. Okay.
Just spoke to Fiwa.
Yep, he's telling his friend. Okay. It could be it. It could be the Kalishtar thing. But they've never seen a Kalishtar ascend the stairs. So I hope you're not planning on backing out, because they're not going to let you. Better safe than sorry, they're saying. If you are one of them, you'll die on the stairs.
Oh, there's no letting. If I want to leave, I'll leave.
Yeah, I'm telling them that. Yeah, they're saying it's a duty thing. Something to do with their duty of their people. Hold on. He steps
Well,
forward.
if they don't want me in there, and I'm not ecstatic about this, I could always wait for Umama here.
Ishu takes a look at the unicorn and then backs out of the way. The unicorn steps forward towards these two guys. And he's gonna do a thing. Let me see.
Uh-oh.
Let's see if he can try to help you out. Where is it? There it is. Let's make a charisma save. And oh, they're not very good at them. That's good. They fail. They fail both saves. So their face stays looking at you, but their like arms kind of go down and become more relaxed, and they look at Agape, and then they look back at you, and then the look of intensity kind of fades from their face, and they take a step back. They're still watching you though, but they look less like they want to tear your head off.
I was just starting to like you too. He'll say like glibly to the Fiwa one. In
Yeah.
common, so that he probably can't even understand it.
He says, the trial is yours, Kalishtar.
Right.
I do not believe you are one of them, but it seems the stairs do.
There's a question for you. What if I skip to the top step?
I wouldn't advise it.
So, in my mind, Tatopa, is there any way I can shield you from this?
No. Not that I can think of. That's okay. I'm not one of them. I'll prove it.
Didn't think you were, but... Alright, here goes. And I'll take another step.
All right. Roll me a D2. Not that it
I have
matters.
a feeling that...
You're resistant to both.
okay, so it's going to keep being psychic and lightning.
Yeah, psychic damage.
Oh, man. This is going to get hurty after a bit.
It is, yeah. You'll
So
probably be
9.
okay. You got a lot of healing stuff if you need
Yep.
it. So 9 total. And on this one, same thing, you know, Tulpa, you hear Tulpa scream out in pain, and then you hear his voice say, "From that pity rose compassion, and the master freed us from the Lyres and drove them from the chaos." I'll copy that into the Roll20 chat for you.
Thanks, sir. Vash is just like gritting his teeth against it and trying to steel his mind and his nerves, expecting a shock on the next one because he doesn't know if there's a pattern or not.
Yeah. Yeah, and you hear Tulpa cry out again. He seems like he's more expecting it this time. Yeah, and then you hear his voice like repeat that. And he says, "Okay, you were right. It's getting worse."
Can you take it?
Keep going.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at first level on myself, real quick.
Okay. Yeah, Ishu's like, "Agape, come on, get him off the stairs." It's
I heal 10.
All right, you heal 10.
And take another step.
All right. Next step. Roll me a D2.
Does it matter if
I mean, it's just gonna be
I'm resistant to both?
Yeah, it doesn't really
Or just to
matter.
determine what type. So there is a pattern. It's psychic lightning.
And also, like, the effects on Tulpa vary slightly, right? Like with the lightning, we heard him start glitching out or whatever. That doesn't really happen with the psychic damage. All right, so you take. Let me roll the die here. 10.
All right.
So that cure wounds you just applied.
Yep.
And I guess also like the damage affects you differently, right? Like the psychic damage might feel different than the lightning damage.
Yeah, that's like one is attacking and the muscles and the nerves, and the other one is attacking senses, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's like throughout your entire body, like every nerve ending is being
like a shock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm just gonna take another step.
Oh wait, I didn't read this one, did I?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Read it.
Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. From the chaos, the master birthed a home for us and left us free to pursue philosophy, introspection, and meditation, and allowed our self-fulfillment and realization. Here, I'll paste that. That was kind of a long one. Okay, you rolled your D2 already. Take the next step.
Yep.
All right. So lightning this time.
Pattern breaks. Vash is confused. God damn it.
For 11.
Yeah.
And this time the voice says, there were some who once freed from their former shackles could not be satisfied with self-fulfillment. There it is in the
Vash is just gritting his teeth, like hands clenched into fists, trying as much as possible to not give any signs of like this affecting him.
Here's what we'll
not very good. It definitely looks like it hurts him, but he's trying.
I will here's what we'll do. We'll put you on the ladder there. And I don't know why, but it won't let me click you.
Because it's probably here. We can just do it to the side. And
yeah, that's fine.
Kind of matches up.
All right. You go
awesome.
You go for that next step.
Yep.
All right. So move on up to the blank space there, and roll your D2.
This is gonna be a thing.
Psychic. All right. All right. So you take another 11. This one doesn't hit quite, or it hits about the same, I guess.
Vash just reaches up and like wipes away a little bit of blood from his nose.
Yeah, and this one says anger and hatred yet burned in their hearts and minds, warped by their suffering. No meditation or introspection could halt these flames. Here you go.
Interesting. Out of character. I'm guessing these would keep out Githrizai too.
Do what?
I said out of character. Guessing these would keep out Githyanki too, not Githrizai.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this part of it's talking about them. That's for sure.
Just gonna take another step.
All right. Move on up. And you rolled 1 again. For 14.
Curious how it would keep out Githyanki if they're basically the same race. They just went off to live somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm curious how this works as well.
Yeah, we don't really know. We don't really know if it would keep out Githyanki. This might just be these couple verses are about the Githyanki, but it's going to change here in just a second.
Okay.
All right. So this one says the people required peace, and the master heard this. The hateful and vengeful could no longer be allowed to sake their thirst for blood on that of the people. And there is that.
I think so. Vash is going to stop for a second and. How you doing in there, Tulpa?
It's okay. I can keep going.
Do you get any benefit out of me healing me? I don't know how you work.
To be honest, I don't think so.
Lovely.
It's all right. If this gets too difficult for you, I'll pick up the slack, all right?
Hilarious. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level.
Okay.
And the answer to that, Ferdy, is yes.
What was for? Oh, okay.
16 plus 5, 21.
All right. Take your healing.
It's 3rd level. Okie dokie. Another step.
And it only gets worse from here, buddy. Roll your D2.
Fine. It's whatever.
You'll survive, probably. I don't see.
We're gonna come out to find Vash lying unconscious at the top of the stairs.
Almost made it. That
Yeah.
would be disappointing.
Okay, so you rolled a 1. All right. So psychic damage 22. There's a lot of 6s in that one.
That was a lot of 6s.
There was a whole lot of 6s in that one, buddy. Double damage, just about on that.
Okay. What's my verse?
All right. Let's see here. And so they were separated from us, no longer a part of the people, but now outsiders, foraying all the same. They were left to drift away in the formless chaos.
Totally keeping all these. All right. Ash kind of like shakes his head. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
Great. Let's do a 4th level Cure Wounds. I don't think I have anything higher for healing that I currently have prepared. No. Yep, Cure Wounds.
All right.
Wait a minute.
What up?
Sorry, it was being weird. Just
Ooh.
that one. So 17, 18?
Is it include the one? Yeah. Yeah. 18,
Yeah.
18.
As long as I have the wildfire spirit out, I'll keep getting that bonus.
That one sucks though on a D8.
I guess Vash is gonna take the next step.
All right. Roll your D2 and move up the ladder. Okay, lightning damage this time. Let me type it in correctly. $21. Hey, we got a lower roll that time. And your
Okay.
verse is the master left for a time. He traveled to worlds outside the chaos and found more outsiders new to suffering under the weight of the Lyres.
It'd be a lot easier if it didn't keep fucking switching. All right, it's time to start thinking out of the box here.
You also have a reaction spell that may help you here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But so how wide are these steps?
I mean they're about as wide as they look on the map.
So fairly small, like
Yeah.
human sized.
Yeah.
I mean, a
I don't
unicorn
know
can go up them.
how well that would work out then. But the ones behind me, I take a step back. It doesn't hurt, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take about 3 steps back, to like where 8 or 9 d6 is to give myself a little bit of room, and I'm going to polymorph.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn myself into a giant ape.
You
Big
turn,
sack of hit points.
You turn yourself into a giant ape. All right.
Bring it.
You're no longer resistant, right?
Correct. But more HP, so hopefully it'll work
All right.
out.
Just keep track of your ape HP.
Don't. Oh, yeah, I do have a sheet. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
because you've done this before. So,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
you
Yep.
should-
Yep.
yeah, yeah. So just keep track. You have your ape sheet.
So-
just keep.
And instead of trying to set my foot on the next stair in the series, he's gonna reach out a big, thick, huge finger and touch it.
Okay, so you just touch the next step.
Yeah. So basically, he's trying to avoid touching more than one step at once.
Okay, just being very careful.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. All right. So you I mean as soon as your hand passes the plane that would be even over the next step, the damage comes on. Go ahead and move yourself up on the next step, and you rolled your D1, it looks like.
Psychic.
All right. Here's that damage. It's full damage because you're in ape form.
Right.
And it's
Good thing.
Concentration, right? Birdie's right.
Oh, it is. All right. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's right.
It is concentration, unfortunately.
So 51 damage. So I'm at 146.
So
Or no, 106.
you have Warcaster, don't you?
And I do, but I don't know if I can. What's half of 51 is 25?
Yes.
It's pretty high DC.
DC is 25 on a con. Yeah.
Okay.
If you crit, it's a success. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No. You didn't get the crit.
I dropped the spell.
Yeah, you drop the spell. You turn back into Vash. Now you also have Wild Shape and stuff like that.
Right. I'm a normal druid, so my wild shapes cap out at maybe 30 HP.
Yeah, I mean, but it would be a buffer, right? So
Right, it'd be something.
Yeah.
So
just one
I
idea.
pop back into my normal form, and Shite.
And this time your verse is the master did what he could to free these outsiders as well, but afterwards they heeded not his teachings and insisted they knew best. There it is.
Okay, I'm gonna take a second and cast Cure Wounds on myself twice at 2nd level.
Okay, go for it.
Where is my Cure Wounds? Oh, there it is. I take a long rest here. No.
What do you think? Do you want to
No, I'm gonna keep going.
Okay, you want to keep going right now? I was gonna say we can cut to the rest of the folks here for a bit if you're like starting to
18,
worry.
6
Need a
is
break.
24. Those are pretty good healing. 24, 36, 44, 45 points between the two.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. And he'll just step forward again and hit the next step.
All right. Next step. And you roll your D2.
I probably could, Odayn, but I'm not going to because Vash is way too proud. It's gonna either make it up or die.
Is it gonna be psychic or lightning this time?
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
I just hope that the last step doesn't go from like 14d6 to 24d6 or something weird shit. And I'm like, oh no!
I'd have to be a total jerk to do that to you. But this is just
psychic.
It's a lot of damage. This is a lot of damage back to back to back to back.
Yes, it is.
All right, psychic damage this time. 27.
7. Okay.
And this time your verse is the master again took pity for their short time of suffering, had not given them the same clarity to see the truth of things.
The last one hurt so much I forgot to copy it. How you doing, Tulpa?
I'm still here. What about you? You hanging in there?
I'm fine. Feels good.
How many more spells do we have left?
Enough. I'll make it.
Good.
I guess Cure Wounds at 5th level.
All right.
I'm trying to spread it out so I still have some spells left over, but we'll see how this goes. 30.
Okay. Yeah, we hear Ishu like as you're doing this, Ishu's like arguing with Agape, like, "Come on, get him off those stairs. He's gonna kill himself." And Agape speaks into both your minds and says, "This is his trial, little one. If he wants to take it, it's on him." And then there's like that whole maybe we come back to that whole thing we were talking about earlier, where it's like if people die, you can't always do anything to stop it, kind of thing, you know. Maybe there's a little bit of that Agape echoes here. All right, so next step, you roll your D2.
Rolling it now. My thing is going slow, or D20 is, or roll 20 is maybe.
Okay. So there's the damage for 30. Couple 6s
30,
in that
okay.
one. And your verse is their naivete and fear would bring back the Lyres, and their self-fulfillment would not be reached this way. The master wept for them, but knew that they must learn themselves. And there is that.
Yes, 1st level this time.
All right. It's a good thing you got your spells back this time around, huh?
Yeah, I would be in a lot of trouble otherwise. I don't think I'd be able to do it. I'm going to do that one more time at 1st level.
All right.
Plus 15 and plus 14.
Oh, right.
So I'm gonna look back at Agape. So, is there like a portal at the top, or is it just the stairs end
Are you
and it just looks like you'd fall off the other side? No, I'm asking you.
Okay. No, the stairs just end. Like there's no.
Okay, but I did see the others go up, so I know that like right around the top step they just disappear.
Yeah, they just vanished. Like when they got to the top step.
So yeah, I'll look back and
Like
I'm gonna make it up these stairs, but is there any other type of enchantment on the thing that'll take me there?
What like? You're asking if there's any other enchantments on the stairs, or like what?
Yeah, is there anything else to worry about here?
He says, besides this, no, there's nothing else that should cause you harm. The upper levels.
If he's lying and I fall over, kill him. I doubt he would actually do, but
he says, like I said, the upper levels can cause some introspection, but nothing else should harm you. Basically something along those lines.
I'll take my last step.
All right, psychic damage it is for 15d6. And here is the damage. Oh, that was a low roll.
That was low, yeah. Lots of ones.
A lot of ones. A lot of ones in that
20
one.
for 19? 20?
Let's say 19. You round down.
15. Okay.
And the final verse
Oops.
is, thus the master learned his greatest lesson. For true enlightenment of all beings, suffering and loss are required. It is through this that we truly grow. As he expressed this upon his return, he radiated an immense joy and was once again with his people and knew that they would find fulfillment. There is that. And you step through, you take the damage, it doesn't take you down, and then you disappear.
Oh, so it's immediate. Okay.
And shortly after, Agape and Ishu follow you. And Ishu steps on the first stair and he's like, it hurts. No, it doesn't.
No!
Now I can kill him. He's alone. No, that doesn't happen. All right, let me copy you guys over to the map.
Okay,
here.
good. I would have been so pissed.
Okay.
I took a lot of spells.
And it's a good thing you recharge your spells, because like I was way more worried about that killing you when you wouldn't take the recharge. And so like you step up out of the stairs and you're like, there's a statue right in front of you, right? The statue that you guys had pushed through with Move Earth or whatever. And then from behind you, the unicorn and Ishu.
How quickly do they show up behind me?
I mean, relatively quickly.
Okay. I was just curious if it displays the sort of time thing that they were encountering or not.
No, doesn't seem anything out of the ordinary with that. Which might be out of the ordinary, depending on how you think about it. And then you see the follow the mayonnaise written on the ground there. In mayonnaise. Or whatever.
Do I see any mayonnaise?
Yeah, there was like, you guys...
No. Orlin used the stick to
draw in the
it
dirt.
In the dirt. Yeah.
The follow the mayonnaise part.
Okay. All right. And then Agape steps out to one side here. And he says, you know, it looks like your friends are wandering somewhere on this floor of the of Uberma's realms. And he says, when you all are ready, the way forward is right here. And then as he says that, another staircase appears.
Not ready.
He says, I assure you this one should be less painful. And congratulations.
But still painful.
No, he says, this one has no defenses on it. You've made it through the worst of it, fortunately.
Great. Tulpa, are you still there? Son of a bitch. No response?
No response.
Cool. Do I feel the thing under my skin?
Yeah, you like put your hand back there and start feeling around for a bump. You're like, oh god, is
Yeah.
this still there? Yeah. If nothing feels abnormal.
Poke it.
Yeah. You can like if there was like a lump there on the back of your neck normally, then yeah, it would still be there.
I don't know if there's a lump there or not. I just know that when it was moving, I could feel it. So I don't know if I can normally feel it or what. Like when it was moving down to the part that was infected or whatever to fight it off, I did feel it then.
It's up to you. Either way, nothing feels
Okay.
out of the ordinary.
But Tulpa's silent.
Yeah, he just doesn't respond to you.
Great.
It could just be temporary.
Great.
You know, he might have got knocked unconscious or something.
All right. Well, I guess let's try and find the others. You good, Ishu? Did it hurt at all?
No, it was easy for me to walk up the stairs. Are you okay? Look, pretty
Ah,
painful.
Easy. Just a little. Okay, it wasn't that easy, but let's just go.
All right. Agape, you coming with us? He's like, if you'd like, I can show you around.
Gonna glance back at Avjoy, and he's good there.
Yeah, he says, you have my word, no harm will come to him. I can hide him if you like.
No, leave him.
Very well.
Let's go, Ishu. See how much trouble they've caused.
Yeah, okay. So maybe that's a good time to cut to
Yeah. Jesus.
everybody else. That was cool. That was a cool little scene. So what are you guys doing? Well, the rest of you doing while all this has been going
I am the life of the party.
Did we all have to make rolls as well for becoming part of the party, or?
Yeah, actually, yeah. If you listen to the music for more than 1 minute, yeah, you got to make, what was it, wisdom saves? Let's see.
Well,
yeah.
I'm not
Alright,
sure if
Odayn's good
we're
at
really
those.
paying attention to the music, but if we're in the area, I would assume she's still hearing it.
Right.
That's true, yeah.
So,
It
I
says
would
you have to
assume
be
she's
within
still
60
in-
feet of them, so
yeah.
specifically. So if you're within 60 feet, you are. Then yes, DC 17 wisdom save, and
Wait,
it's a charm
Do
effect.
those guys have to?
Yeah, they're gonna have to as well. Yeah.
Nice.
I'll
And
just
is
roll.
this a magical?
They all fail. They all
This
rolled.
is why they're so behind on what they're trying to do,
Yeah.
stopping the party.
This is why there's like this could explain the weird time stuff too. Maybe they don't realize they've been here longer because they've been partying the whole time.
Oh boy.
They've all been like blacking out and stuff.
Is
God.
this considered a magical effect?
Yes, it's a charm and it's a magical effect. Yes.
Okay, then I get advantage.
So it's a fail from Odayn, a fail from Sha'ah, and a success from Orilyn. So you
Let me
keep
roll for Fea too.
okay.
Fea also has advantage.
Oh yeah, Melora. That's a good point. Why did I lose her sheet? Let me just pull it back up.
Curious to see if Archfey trump water deities.
We got some stuff going on for Melora here too. Don't worry. Let's see here. She does have advantage. She just succeeds.
Did
So-
Odayn roll?
He rolled a
Yeah, he
Oh, I
rolled
see,
a
he rolled a 13.
He rolled a 12 or a 13, yeah.
So Melora and Fea and Orilyn succeed. Everyone else, you are charmed by this guy right here. This guy right by Lyram. And while charmed in this way, you idolize this guy and you'll take part in his revels. That's what it says. It ends after 1 hour, or if you take any damage, or if you witness him attack someone you're allies with. Okay.
Odayn's gonna take out. I mean, he already has Balrogs out, and he's gonna try to basically be a backup instrument to his music.
Yeah. Go for it. You want to make a check or use an ability? Go right ahead.
Let's see how well he does compared to last time.
All right.
Dane, what are you
And
doing?
you can
We're
do it.
going
Use your inspiration.
to go find Vash.
What?
What are you doing? We're going to go find Vash.
Oh, this is fun.
Oh no! Shut up.
Lyram feels like he's been shown up by Odayn, so he's gonna play with an actual performance check this time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sold.
He's still outshining you. So I think I will say this, Odayn. If you would like to use your inspiration on this, you may.
Oh, as in 19 wasn't good enough.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all.
Sure, I'll use my inspiration on this.
You don't have to. But if you want to, you can. It's fine. All right. 20 is better. All right. So I think he actually stops playing. Like it's like what you're playing is so good that he actually he looks surprised and genuinely wants to listen. So he stops and like holds a hand up in the air and the fiddle disappears. Like some of the people at first kind of stop dancing and then he's like, "No, keep dancing." And they do. And he'll just sit and listen to your song for a few moments. And he's kind of like watching your hands as you're playing, and like nodding along and that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, I guess this is as good a time as any. Odayn's gonna stop for a bit, and then he's gonna sort of, he's gonna tell the crowd, everyone, this is the story of one of our adventures that we've had in the past. Lyram, I know you like music, so maybe this is a better song for you compared to the one I played you earlier. And he's gonna start playing the story of the hag. There we were, through the forest, rough and battered up from fights, and we haven't taken rest. Two of us separated, looking for monks, and they took off for the day. They went away, strolled into the woods, the dark surrounding us, until we stumbled upon a pit. We heard a woman scream, we rushed into the scene, but what we don't understand is that's the old hag of Tottenham. She lied in wait for her next victim, with sharpened teeth and her ragged skin. Her curdled shriek signaled heinous wind. Oh, she would slash you with her claw, crush your will and cause you pause. Yes, you must be prepared, or else endure a loss.
That was so good.
That was really cool.
Yeah,
I don't think we've heard.
Woman stuck
Yep.
in this mound of flesh that Vash tried to burn, but he struck her instead. Mad woman, bad woman, no longer an elf. She hurled ghouls after us as she showed us her true self. Then the fight began, our party almost ran. We brawled and Drogo struck down the ghouls. There was one left to beat, a problematic feat, and we would take our last stand against the old hag of Trottenham. She almost took us as her victim. Her eyes glowed red and her figure thin. Our final bout would last in. Oh, our backs against the wall, waiting for our curtain call. If this was our last day, then we'll give it our all. Ishu cast a bolt of fire. Ooh, we watched it burn down in flames. Disintegrated in a pyre, turned to ashes, 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 baby.
Oh, man.
But then we fought the old hag of Trottenham, no longer waiting for her victim. A gasp of sigh and a happy grin. We celebrated in our win. Oh, our backs against the wall, waiting for our curtain call. But we triumphed that day. Now where's the alcohol? That I gotta do a callback, guys.
Yeah,
That was great.
That was
good.
awesome.
So this crowd of people that was fixated on this guy are now completely enthralled and fixated on you. And he is as well. Like, he's dancing around. He really enjoys the performance. And he's like, "Wow, it's actually a really good story. You're not a bad musician for a human, huh?"
Thank you. What's your name?
So that's when his appearance changes. Maybe Orilyn or Sha'ah would recognize him. I don't know. Is here some recognizable?
Does he
I
look like
mean-
the same person that Sha'ah saw putting
Tried to
like with his
steal
hands
from
Yeah.
Clay's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he does. Yeah.
Okay. Whoa, it's you.
Did
Yeah.
I roll a history to see if I recognize him?
Sure.
Okay.
He is the son of Oberon.
Yeah.
It's true. Yes.
Oh.
Recognize him. Yeah. 100%. Son of Oberon himself, standing in front of you.
Well, one of them.
Yeah, I guess the
You know this guy?
Prince of Frost is also his son too, right?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, what was the question? Was there another question?
Oh, Sha'ah, you know this guy?
Yeah, he's here some.
Yeah, a bunch of
Yes,
the
I'm-
nearby people also look surprised to see him. And almost, would they be reverential? I don't know. They probably continue just dancing, to be honest with you, and like starting to get a little more wild. Like people are walking by and clapping you on the back and like cheering you and stuff.
He's the Prince of Fools,
Oh,
part of the Sealy court.
do
If I
you do
remember.
you, do you know the Fool Arcana?
Fool Arcana. What's
Yes.
that?
You ask.
I asked here some.
Here's some. He kind of frowns and he says, "Fool Arcana." No. Do you? Let me roll something. Oh gosh. Make an insight check.
No,
Oh,
I'm
ugh.
great at those.
Roll high, buddy, because I rolled it on stream. So.
I'm really great at those.
Oof.
On brand.
Seems legit. He seems like he has no idea what the Fool Arcana is.
All right. Well,
This is that.
what are you doing here? You seem like a very important person. Hear some?
Oh, I just I like to just travel around from place to place. There was a lot of people here. I figured might be some revelry left in this place.
Well, I'm glad we could both give these guys a good time.
He kind of squints his eyes at you. Let me see here. Ooh. You roll a crit 1, really? And then he seems like he squints his eyes at you for a moment, and then it's like, okay, never mind. And he's so what was it you just said to him?
Oh, I said I'm glad we were both able to give these people a good time.
Indeed. Would you like something to drink while you're here? And he like gestures to like people passing drinks around and that kind of stuff.
Sure. What kind of drink?
He says he says we've got wine. He reaches behind his back and pulls out like a water skin and takes a drink from it. And there's like red stain around his lips when he gets done. I'm sure there's more wine around. We've got ale, pretty much anything. We've also got water if you want to go down to the lake. You can get some water there. We don't really keep it at camp. There's no need for it. You understand?
Right. Well, I think later we'll go down because Melora. Hey, Melora, come over here. Why are you over there? Me and Melora are gonna go see the water later. But yeah, I'll have some of what you're drinking.
Yeah. He offers you some, and he says he'll end his enthralling performance is what it was. He will end that, I suppose, and like dismiss the people who are dancing, who suddenly like snap out of it and kind of like look a little bit confused. And then some of the Eladrin like start walking back over to what they were doing, and like, why? I don't know. I just felt like dancing for no reason. Even though the winter one is like, I don't know. I just felt like dancing. And they go back to their thing. The satyrs will like kind of give you guys some space and take care of some stuff they want to take care of. Some of them are probably still drinking. And Hearsome says to you, he says, "How long have you been playing that? What is that? That's a lute, right?"
The Balrog, I think so.
Yeah, he's like, how long have you been playing that lute, boy?"
out of character, how long has it been since we met Ishu?
Ooh,
I think it's only been like in the matter of months, right?
yeah.
Hasn't been years. It's been
No.
like 2 or 3 months.
At the longest, like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
I've been playing. I've been playing this one specifically about a few months, but I've been playing other instruments before then. My mom was a musician, so she taught me a few things.
He's like, oh, that's interesting. Was your mom classically trained? You know, he's like making music small talk with you. Lyram, he has entirely forgotten about you.
Oh no.
Now that he's not charmed anymore, Lyram doesn't really care.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, she's classically trained. But have you met my friends? Here's Melora, Orilyn. We just met this guy, Sha'ah. Sha'ah? What I don't know what his name is. I just call him Sheep.
Sheep.
Yeah. Guys, here's some.
Yeah,
Just staring.
he just kind of
I bow.
stares blankly at them. He looks at Orilyn and kind of cocks his head to the side.
Orilyn, don't be rude. Say hi.
It's almost like this moment where they're like looking at each other, and she's, I guess, are you like, scowling at him, or like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Orilyn?
She's not sure what to think, because like they were gonna go tell Vash, and instead they all came over here, and then everybody started dancing, and Orilyn and Melora, I guess, because she didn't get affected either, just standing there watching, and so Orilyn's just like. But she also, I rolled high enough to know who he is, so it's like she also like is staring a little bit in awe because she knows who he is, but she's also not happy that they're just standing around partying.
Yeah, I was that's what I was trying to get at. Like, are you mad that he's like here partying instead of out like trying to save Oberon or something?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. I think maybe he gives you like a knowing look, and then he kind of like winks at you. And then that's
and now she'll scowl.
yeah. And then he smiles. And then that's a good time for Vash and Ishu and Agape to like wander on screen.
Oh, that's way sooner than I thought it was gonna be. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
We were dancing for like a good 30 minutes, I'm assuming.
Yeah. It's been some time, yeah. But I just want to have you all in the same place and make things a little bit easier. So we're almost at the end.
It's easier to kill us.
Yeah, right. Well, we're almost at the end of the session, and I kind of wanted to get you guys all back together before we wrap up. So,
Hopa, are you there?
Yeah, this time there is a response. But all it is I'm still here.
I shall take that and leave him alone.
Okay.
Are they within visual? Do I see them?
Yeah, you hear they're nearby enough that you can hear people talking. You see all the movement of people, the various signs of life in the area. You can probably recognize their voices of your friends from this distance, I think.
Well, sounds like they're not dead, Ishu.
That's good.
Yeah, give it time.
Right. Well, way to be a downer then. And he's like, yeah, he kind of runs up and he's like, "Oh, hi, people. Wow, you guys remind me of Orilyn." And he's like pushing past everybody, or like running by everybody. to get towards the group. And he probably would also like make sure you're following as well.
Oh, all right.
He's not just gonna ditch you.
I'm just like, yeah, go on.
Agape follows, not like right next to you, but he'll stay close to you guys in case you need him. And like as he walks by each of the other denizens here, he kind of exchanges knowing looks with them.
Look, Orilyn. Looks like we don't have to find them at all. They're here.
That's true.
Vash is just taking note of these things.
So you should smile. You don't look so down.
I'm not exactly in a partying mood.
He looks at here some. Maybe you should offer her some of that drink. Help her maybe loosen up a bit.
He says, do you think that would really help? I'm not sure if she needs to loosen up.
Well, we sort of lost a few of our party members on the way here. I know it's affecting us. You know, for me, at least the party helped a little bit ease my mind out of it, but I'm sure the others are taking it harder. I don't know. I thought the music would cheer her up, but I guess not.
You don't happen to have a way to turn someone turned statue back into a living flesh, do you?
Are you talking to Hearsome?
Yeah, but she's more addressing like anybody who can hear.
Yeah. Let's see here. Hearsome says, unfortunately, that's one thing I can't do. Restoration's not really my thing. He kind of looks around to see if anyone else does. They don't seem to. Nobody steps forward. He says, if you need some trickery done, I'm your guy. Can help with that.
What kind of trickery?
And
He kind of gives you like a shifty look, Odayn. He says, "Oh, I got all kinds."
By the way, here's some. What did you do to Lord Cernunos? You were right next to him when we were fighting that big eye creature.
Oh, right. That wasn't Cernunos. You know that, right?
That wasn't
No.
my archfey.
No, that was just a satyr. Who died a horrible death, unfortunately. It's a shame. I liked the guy.
Yeah. He's like, Sha'ah's like mouth is just open, like, he's not my lord.
No, he wasn't. But that should be a good thing, right? Maybe.
Yes, that is a good thing.
Maybe Cernunos is still alive out there somewhere.
How about the other archfays? Have you met them?
He kind of looks around and he says, there were a few others here. I think the twins are nearby. He kind of looks at Laura.
So
Nowhere.
So you just hang out here partying with the people and instead of trying to find a way to save your king.
He looks at you and kind of blinks. He does the blinking guy meme. And he says oh, me? I'm I'm not really a fighter. That was more Oberon's thing. Fierce and impulsive.
That's actually kind of why we're here. We're here to revive Oberon.
Well, good. He kind of like feigns surprise. He's like, "Oh, well, good. Thank goodness you guys have come. This is news to me that you guys have come here to resurrect Oberon. That's fantastic. So, what's the plan?"
Well, we're gonna take Oberon's orb to his palace, and Melora is gonna help us resurrect him. But it's sort of overrun, I think. So that's why we came here to ask for help from the wizard.
The wizard, right? You have Oberon's orb, then. Where is it?
Not telling.
Odayn.
Don't tell him.
Odayn was like
Have you-
about to say it until Orilyn told him not to.
Yeah, Orilyn says, "Don't tell him," and he says, "Come on, I'd really like to know."
Orilyn, why not? Isn't he an archfey? Isn't he one of those people that you wanted to find so we can help aid the Feywild?
Boy.
Is it common knowledge that Hirsum is the son of Oberon?
I don't know. That's a
I
good
don't
question.
know. I don't know on that one.
Let's see. Let's see the lore about
I think-
Fearsome.
I think the origins of many Archfey are probably pretty mysterious.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Fearsome
Yeah,
is...
I'm not sure if Orilyn even knows. She just knows that Oberon is his king. So
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think Fearsome and Oberon really get along that much, if I'm not mistaken. Like, from my
yeah, this is what
my
Probably not.
understanding is that Fearsome like pretends to like
that's what you gave us before. Is what I just put in the roll 20.
Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly what I was looking at just now. So guys hide his intelligence, bring anarchy to destroy civilization. Yeah, so he's bad
That's just a
against,
phone.
he's chaos, right? He wants chaos.
Mm-hmm.
He wants the Feywild to stay wild. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's so good.
God.
I can't believe I just made that up on the fly like that. That's so good. All right.
All right. So his persuasion. What do I roll it? Insight to oppose it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
God, I wish I had silence right now.
I'm gonna use my inspiration for this session.
Okay.
Probably won't help. I only have a +2 insight.
You got
Oh,
another.
whoops! That didn't roll with the.
Yeah, you
I
got
forgot to click
Inspiration.
advantage.
Oh,
Ooh, there you go.
D20 beats it.
Oh yeah, D20 beats it. Yeah. So yeah, it's a successful roll.
Yeah. I think Orilyn will say, I think if he cared about Lord Oberon, he would have been trying to find ways to help him already. Don't tell him with Orbis.
Aw, that's a shame. I'm just more focused on having a good time. Truth is,
I can tell.
it'd be easier to do that with Oberon around than the flesh, right?
Orilyn, weren't
And
we
if you
supposed
knew,
to? Orilyn, weren't we supposed to look for Archfey? Isn't he one of them?
we're looking for people to help us bring back Lord Oberon.
Well, you haven't asked him to help us bring him back. He said he
Yeah,
had tricks. He said he had
if
tricks.
you
Maybe he
knew-
could find us a way to get into the palace.
If you knew where the orb was, what would you do with that knowledge?
Nothing.
Would you play a trick on us and try to
Insight.
take it?
you want
I'm close enough to hear, right?
Yeah, you're close enough to hear. Yeah.
It's a normal insight then.
Oh.
Oh, not
Dang, 20s
We're all
all
rolling that
across the
20s.
board.
Jeez.
Okay, I'm not even gonna roll because you're rolling at 20. He's being dishonest. But he wants to know, not because he wants to do something evil. He doesn't have like bad intentions, I guess is the best way to put it. But he wants to know for a reason. Like there's a reason he wants to know.
Okay.
It's just not.
So he seems overly interested, but not necessarily malicious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
I don't say anything.
Would you help us if you knew? Or would you help us in general?
He says, I'm sure I could be persuaded to help. But what do I get out of it?
We bring back Lord Oberon.
If everybody's dead, there's no one left to party.
There's plenty of people to party here. Right, guys? We can party forever. Gestures around.
I think
like, some of
they'd
them are
like to get some work done.
Some of them give him a look like, please don't make me start dancing again.
My feet are so tired.
If it's a charm
Please.
thing, I think all of the Eladrin have advantage versus that.
They probably do, but he can just keep doing it.
Yeah,
Sure.
we're gonna fail eventually.
I plead to hear some. Please, we need to defeat all of these aberrations.
Yeah, but what would him knowing where the orb is, like, how would that help defeat the aberration?
He goes, why do you keep looking at him? He gestures to Odayn.
Not?
And he looks at Melora, and Melora is like
She's
trying
gonna-
really hard not to look at Odayn. So she's like staring at him stone cold.
when he asks that, and Orilyn replies with the "I'm not," she's going to clutch her bag.
You make a deception check.
Yeah.
Vash is just like shaking his head.
Nice.
Ooh, okay. His
Pretty good.
His insight's actually not great. So I think it's just a straight wisdom roll for him on insight.
It's got a +4 from what I saw.
Yeah, I mean you're looking at a correct version of his sheet. I've changed it slightly. So yeah, he's like, okay. What's in your bag?
Things that belong to me.
That's true. Fair enough.
Orilyn, is this one of those? You said he's an archfey.
Yes.
Where do you stand on the pecking order now that Oberon's gone?
Oh, I'm not so concerned about pecking orders, petty things.
So you're stronger than Oberon. Flesh can't eat you.
Oh, the flesh comes for all of us. That's why I'm not going out there. Not again. I saw what happened.
What happens when there's nowhere left for the tower to be?
Well, I suppose it'll come here eventually too. But well, we knew
It's alright. You seem like a fighter. Surely you can fight it off. You wouldn't want someone like Oberon fighting it for you.
Oberon ran too. He's the
He
reason
didn't.
we're
I look over at Orilyn.
He's the reason we're in this predicament.
He didn't run.
He did once.
He's still telling the truth, right?
You're asking if Hearsome is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still telling the truth.
Okay.
He says, what you mean? He turns to Orilyn and says, what you mean is Oberon doesn't run. That is the truth. But he ran once, We all did.
What do you mean? Ran from the flesh?
Not the flesh in particular.
What did you run from?
You're kind of like catching him in a lie here, so let's see. He probably won't roll like a crit 20 on this like he did last time. No, he didn't. He rolled it.
Oh.
So he says, all right. He says, rolled a natural 2 on that one. Okay. He says, it's still a 19. He says,
Good God.
yeah. He says, well, we all ran at a time. You mentioned the Fool Arcana, right?
Right.
Well,
Did you run from the Arcana?
some of us didn't want to be Arcana.
Oh, does that mean you had the option?
You know, I thought about being the Fool. Kind of seemed like a cool title, but from what I understand, they gave it to some other guy. You know, runner-up, second best. What can I say? Hope things turned out well for him. But personally, I'd rather stay alive.
What do you mean by that?
Well, that's what happens when you become an Arcana. You die. Well, you cease to be whatever.
So wait, does that mean the Arcana were all Archfey as well?
No, silly. No, the Archfey didn't exist until we ran. We made the Feywild. We fled.
They're just gods by another name, Odayn.
Oh. Melora, did you know this?
She looks not as surprised as you might expect, actually. let me see. Let me see if she can play it
She's
off.
been getting memories back.
Deception is charisma? Or
Charisma.
Charisma, yeah.
Charisma.
oh. No, she is not surprised at all. She's like, yeah, she does not seem surprised by this news. And she probably, like, she looks at you and then she's like, she realizes it's all over her face, so she doesn't even try to lie. She kind of like looks away.
You didn't have to be there, Melora, were you? When they were choosing the Arcana?
She wasn't here. No.
Oh.
He looks at Melora and he says, daughter of Nereus. Someone who'd like to speak with you by the lake.
Who? Who'd he say?
He said, daughter of Nereus, there's someone who would
Right.
like to speak with you by the lake.
Oh, there's someone. Okay, I thought you said the name.
How does she react?
She kind of nods and looks at you, like, kind of like tilts her head to the side, almost like asking for permission to go.
Like,
I
oh, okay.
think we should stick together. Now that Vash is here, Anishu.
Fair enough.
Sounds like a good idea.
Well, okay. Melora Melora and I want to go to the beach. We want to go fishing. Apparently, someone wants to meet with her by the water.
You
you're
realize this
welcome
isn't
to
a
follow.
vacation, right?
We need food, Vash. Or do
I
you
can
have
make food.
You can make food and you haven't shared it with us?
Yeah, what's with that?
It's never been a need. You don't have any rations left. I've still got like dozens.
I'm out of fish.
Oh.
I need more
I've
fish.
been carrying fish since like the early days of this campaign.
Yeah.
Lyram also looks confused.
no,
He's looking
I-
around. You need
I had
food?
dried ones.
Yeah,
What in the hell's is that?
You dried some of them to keep them for storage, right?
Yeah,
That was a thing that we did. Yeah.
but they're now gone. So
The thing moves?
Would
What
you
thing?
trust that thing? But Lyram. When he points out Lyram, Orlan's asking, would you trust that thing?
I don't even trust you. Okay, that's a lie. I trust you a little bit, but no. What the hell's that? Kind of reminds me of the metals or the things we've run into. Pretty short though.
And started asking about the Horned One and music.
I think it's just a robot that wants music, or a statue that wants music.
He's pretty good at playing. Hearson says.
It said it killed its master.
Oh well, I trust it much more now.
I shrug.
Oh, sarcasm.
But it doesn't remember what
it
its
helped, he
master
deserved
was.
it.
What did he do to deserve it?
He lacked vision.
Great. Why don't you just stand right over there?
Where?
Harrison, how about this? How about we trade you this interesting little statue and you assist us?
I've got no use for a statue. Reynard might.
It plays music. You
With
heard it.
Sha'ah.
Yeah, it plays music and it plays it technically well, I suppose. There's just no soul in it. It's got no feeling. You know what I mean?
Maybe you could teach it.
It's a project.
I'm not a teacher. Much too impatient.
Not really helpful either at this point.
All right.
Here's some. Who's meeting Melora? Who's waiting for Melora at the water? Is it more Archfey?
Well, he's first. First, there's one thing. Hang on a second, and he says a Sylvan word. And
What does he say?
it's a word for dancing.
Yeah, what does he say?
Cast it on you, Vash.
All right. Is there a save?
No, read the description. The target begins a comic dance in place, shuffling, tapping its feet, and capering for the duration. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune. A dancing creature must use all its movement to dance without leaving its space and has disadvantage on dex saves. It's a 6th level spell. So,
There's a spell save DC though.
I can use an action to make
As an
a wisdom
action, you
check.
can make it.
Yeah. There you go.
But so for about 6 seconds, I'm dancing until I try.
Yeah, so like he doesn't even have to point. He just says a word in Sylvan, the Sylvan word for dance, and like he's like 1 second, and then he's like says the word, and then Vash kind of starts dancing for a moment, and then he's watching him, but he's talking to you. Now, what did you say? The DC is 17, I think. Let me see.
19. I just beat it.
Yeah. Okay, you beat it. Yeah, you beat it.
I'll let him talk for a minute.
So his sheet is one I've made, so it's a little bit different than what's online. This DC is actually 18. So, but yeah, you beat it. Because there's 2 different sheets that float around for him, and I basically just combined them and made a few.
You can cast it twice though.
I mean, he could, yeah. He's also got a lot of other spells he can cast too.
Yeah, so Vash stops dancing after 6 seconds.
Okay. And he doesn't pay any mind.
I think Odayn was gonna say something though. That's why I was let him say something first.
What were you saying?
I asked who was meeting Melora at the water.
Oh, the twins of the seas want to speak with her.
Are those Archfey like you? Or primordials like Melora?
He nods. Archfey, rule the seas here.
Odayn looks at Olin like, Okay, well, there's other Archfey we can enlist to help. Should we
Yeah.
go?
What do I know about the twins?
Make a history check. Not a whole lot.
Almost a 20.
Not as much.
Not so much. Let's see here. They're generally good. Although like they're a little bit odd. They are considered generally good, I believe. Just from looking at their description here. They kind of keep to themselves. So you don't know a whole lot about them. Part of the Coral Court, I guess. Not really sure if, like what we're doing there, but there is a Coral Court. Is the thing.
Maybe they'll help, and she'll move to go. Like, if Odayn and Marlora might move that way, Orilyn will follow them.
Yeah, once Orilyn heads in their direction, Odayn will say, "Okay, let's go, Melora." And he's gonna look at Hearsome. He's gonna be like, "Thanks for the help, Hearsome. I really enjoyed the song."
Yeah, he reaches out and kind of like grabs your sleeve for a second as you start to walk off.
Oh, did you need something?
And you get. He says, I'd really like to talk with you alone for a little bit if you got time.
Sure. You guys can go ahead without me.
I think we should.
When are you gonna
stay
stop
together.
trusting people, Odayn? Jesus.
We need to stay together. And also, you saw what he did. He made everybody dance. What if he can make you do other things that you don't want to do?
Like, what's the worst that could happen?
He goes,
You
"Come on."
die.
He goes, "Come on, I'm not going to hurt your friend here. I just want to speak with him, that's all."
Is he still telling the truth?
Do you want to make an insight check?
I gotta make another? Alright, fine.
It's been a little bit. You crit, you know what? Your crit stands, I think.
It's fine. I can make another.
You did crit, so I should let you keep it for a little bit. He is still telling the truth. Seems trustworthy.
I believe him.
You believe everybody.
And
Odayn.
as we know, Odayn's decisions on who not to believe are always amazing. 100% of the time.
Listen, that seems like a really poor idea. But if you're gonna do that, then at least keep Faya with you or something.
Okay. Here's some. Is that okay? My friends just want to make sure I'm safe.
He says, "Yeah, I don't mind."
Okay. Faya can stay with me.
Orilyn will grab onto Melora's arm as if they're like linking arms, and she's going to shift her senses so that she's seeing and hearing through Faya. As Faya goes and lands on Odayn's shoulder.
Okay. Yeah. So you're like blind and you're being led around by Melora while you're watching and listening through Faya.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right. Sha'ah, are you staying here?
Sha'ah will be with Agape, and then he'll probably like rest up.
Okay.
Well, is
Well, there you
Agape
go.
not coming? Or is he?
Yeah, it's up to you guys, I suppose. Agape can come with you guys, or you can stay here. What would you guys like to do?
I think I'd like for him to come because there's some stuff Orilyn wanted to ask him later.
It's hard to hit him with spells if he's not nearby, so I guess he could come with.
All right, so everyone.
Also,
Go ahead.
I just noticed the time, and we were gonna do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are going to do that thing, so we're wrapping up right here. So everybody but
I am curious. Does the statue start to follow?
Yeah. Lyram, what are you doing?
Yeah, Lyram will glance one more time at Hearsome, shrug, and then continue walking after the group.
Whoa. Where are you going?
This
Who,
way.
me?
No, we'll get to you in a minute. You, statue.
Who?
You.
Oh, me, statue.
Jesus.
Yes. I'm going this
Why
way.
are you following us?
Why can't he?
It's the way I'm going.
We don't know what he is. We don't need him
I don't know
following
what
us.
you are.
Good. Then follow someone else.
Okay. He follows Agape.
Alright. Yeah. So that's
Pointy
where-
horse. I'm following you.
Yeah, Agape is like, that's fine. Very well. And we see you all like walking towards the lake. And as you guys are walking off, here's some says to Odayn with Faye on his shoulder. He says, your friend there, the Eladrin, she should try to speak with Oberon. His influence is even in this place.
Do you mean like Trade Oberon?
Is that what they call it where you're from? Ray?
Yeah. What? I
Guys,
guess they're calling it speaking here.
he goes, you sound like an arcana. And then maybe that's where we cut the episode. Yeah, he's like praying. You sound like an arcana. And then that's where the session ends. Odayn, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the boon that you're gonna get as you spend some more time talking with him. I think we've kind of gone over this.
Right.
But here it is so everybody else can see it. You get advantage on saves against charm. You get vicious mockery, which you didn't have anymore. You can also get basically a similar thing to cutting words, which you're not a lower bard, so you don't have. 3 times per long rest, it recovers on a long rest. You basically get cutting words, and it's just a solid D8. You don't have to use a bard die on it.
Nice.
That's really good.
And yes, and
Yeah.
that's the wording right there on it. So you just like cutting words, you can use it after a roll is made, but before I say whether it's like a success or fail or whatever, or I guess hit or miss or whatever, or damage. I guess before the damage is dealt, because it can be used for that too. All right. And I guess that's where we'll end the session. Kind of a weird one today, guys. Kind of a weird one. I think everything pretty much went to plan. What do you guys think?
I think we're bad at stopping early.
Yep.
I think it was
It's
good.
still 4 hours. I mean, technically that is early because we've been going over 4, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that was our plan. Our plan was to end
That was
around
fun,
9:30.
that's true. Yeah.
oh, okay. I thought we were ending an hour
Oh, I
early.
thought we
so-
were. Yeah, I thought we were gonna end half an hour early, so that way we would have an hour.
Well, at the beginning, I was like, "What time do you guys want to end today?" Try to end.
Yeah, I thought we said 9:30.
And yeah, I was like 9:30, and everybody was like,
Oh,
"Yeah."
I see.
So, all right. Well, we will end the session there. Good stuff today, guys. Take another 3
Just-
XP, everybody, for RP.
For the record, I could have taken at least 4 more stairs.
Yeah. It first of all, like, super helpful for you to have all your spell slots.
Right.
Super helpful. Also, I knew you were resistant to psychic. I didn't know you were resistant to lightning, because I overlooked it. I guess it's Tempest Cleric thing.
No, that's the dragon armor that I bought. I bought lightning.
Oh, okay. Right on. Cool. All right. I guess I overlooked that. I was thinking
Yeah.
that your resistance to lightning would come in the form of absorb elements. Is what I was thinking. If you could, if like you rolled and saw that you were going to get lightning, and then you could be like, all right, reaction absorb elements, and it would cut it in half. I thought you might be able to cut it that way. also.
Right.
You still could have done absorb elements and cut it in half again.
On top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I was trying to conserve spell slots.
was kind of.
Does Vash have that?
Go ahead.
Have what?
Oh, did Vash have that prepared? I've never seen him use that spell, so. Oh.
We don't actually encounter that type of damage that much.
Yeah,
It's
that's
been
why I didn't
necrotic
know you
and stuff
had
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
I always have it prepared, but I rarely get to use it.
Well, you could have used it if you wanted to. Well, that being said, thanks for playing, guys. Thanks for watching, viewers.
That was fun.
That was a fun session. Not so much combat today, a little more RP focused. There was
a lot of damage that
There was-
happened.
there was a
Yeah,
lot
there
of
was
damage.
a lot of damage.
There was-
It's
there was a
Vash's
lot of-
combat versus the stairs.
Right.
yeah. The
And he's
greatest
probably not
boss.
gonna tell anybody about it because pride.
Yeah. I guess Ishu will know, so maybe someone will eke it out of him. But
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
I don't know if anybody
can
would
I
ask.
can I get XP for that as if it was a combat?
You know what? Yeah. I'll give you an extra 3 XP for that.
Train's so well. Yeah.
I would
I really
consider it-
wanted to.
I would consider it deadly.
When we started, once I figured out what the challenge was going to be, I really wanted to make it up the top, or up to the top with as little healing as possible. But I forgot polymorph was concentration.
I
God
forgot
damn it.
too. I think we forgot before in the past. So thanks.
Yeah, we forgot during the dream sequence, which is why Vash was super overpowered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks for the reminder, Ferdy, on concentration.
might not have won if.
No, he
we
probably
remembered
wouldn't
that.
have. Yeah, that would have changed things drastically.
There is that. But yeah, let's see in the session. So I guess we will cut the video here and start the video for we'll keep the live stream going because we're gonna do a post talk here for a little bit.
Yeah, you should probably announce what the hell's going on. 'Cause people, if there is anyone watching, it might be confusing.
So there might be a couple people here. Yeah, there's a couple people. I think Unrooted's probably still here. So what we're doing is we're gonna have a little Q&A, and where we're kind of gonna go over all the stuff that happened on the show before the stream started, and sort of general questions about some lore stuff. And I'll try to answer everything I can from these guys or from people watching. If you guys got questions, type them in the chat. We'll be looking at that as well. And maybe there's not any questions. We'll see. But I'll try to answer everything we can without spoiling future stuff. Basically is what we're going to be doing. So
Yeah, and I think the idea is for us to ask questions while we see if there are any questions from the chat, and then handle those in a bit.
yeah. And
So if you ask a question, we're not ignoring you.
yes. Let me check and see if there. I don't know if there were, but maybe if there were any comments on the YouTube that were questions. I don't think there were. No, just a bunch of people saying cool video. Okay. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for playing as always, guys. And we'll start the podcast video here.